History in the making tonight from Clemson, South Carolina. The patriarch of college football's first family. A single win from one of coaching's most coveted milestones. To get there, only flesh and blood stands in his way. A son on the other sidelines, and his vow to delay the inevitable for one more week. By the numbers, Bobby Bowden's lifetime brushstrokes have painted a masterpiece that's nearing completion. A national championship, unsurpassed bowl success, winning his team of the decade, top 4 finish, 12 years and counting. Adding win number 300 moves him into an elite fraternity of the game's all-time greats. Over 30 members of the extended Bowden family are on hand here tonight. Some coaching, some cheering, others completely agonizing over divided loyalties. Father beats son for the first time in college football history as #1 Florida State comes calling on Clemson. Well, about 45 minutes ago, Bobby and Tommy met at midfield where even a traditional pregame handshake proved that it can turn into a full-blown media event. Hi, everybody. Ron Franklin. Welcome once again to Saturday primetime college football here on ESPN. I think we've got a fun event tonight. Certainly, it is great theater. You know, the most rewarding thing for any father is to have your son follow in your same endeavors, and such is the case with 3 of Bobby Bowden's 4 sons. 3 of them are in coaching. I'm sure Coach Bowden loves all of his children, whether they went into football or not. But stop and think about this. The irony of Bowden looking for win number 300, a plateau that only 4 other people are there, and also trying to maintain that #1 ranking which Florida State sits at right now. The odds of it happening, of him having to go on the road and take on his #2 son, well, those odds have to be simply astronomical. And Tommy has said, I'm not going to be Dad's punching bag. I don't want to be an asterisk in anybody's record book. But conversely, think about Coach Bowden. He doesn't want to be an asterisk in a record book that says he lost his first attempt at 300 to his #2 son. As you know, there was another developing story from down in Tallahassee that involves Peter Warwick. Let's go down to the sideline. Adrian Karsten has more on that story. Adrian?
Well, Ron, the last 36 hours of this legal case that everyone knows about now with Peter Warwick at the center have certainly been the most eventful of this legal case with Peter Warwick at the center. In that amount of time, what was potentially 30 days of jail time for him to serve after the first of the year became 7 days of jail time to serve this season. Well, now that's all gone away, and we all know now he won't serve any jail time at all. And even though he does not show up on the official 2-deep roster tonight for Florida State, he will start at flanker for the Seminoles. Now, when he arrived here on the floor of the stadium at Death Valley, he received more jeers than cheers, especially from the Clemson student section here. Just below Howard's Rock on the Hill, they were chanting, "Jailbird, jailbird." Now, he declined to speak to us on camera both yesterday and this evening when he took the field, but I did speak with Bobby Bowden, Ron, and he claims 2 things. First of all, that what Warwick has been through over the last 10 or 12 days is as severe as any jail time he could have or would have served. And finally, Ron, Coach Bowden doesn't think he has any shot left at the Heisman Trophy.
Okay, Adrian, thanks so much. A reminder, Mike Gottfried will be joining me here in just a moment. Right now, let's head down to Austin, Texas, and join our friends from Game Day, Chris Fowler, Lee Corso, and Kirk Herbstreit, where the tower is burning orange. Gentlemen.
Well, Ron, great scene there and a magical afternoon in your adopted hometown as Texas knocks off the Nebraska Cornhuskers for the 3rd consecutive time. A record crowd here on its feet for about 3.5 hours. They watched Major Applewhite direct a second-half comeback, and Texas did nothing in the first half. It was a touchdown pass with 51 seconds to go. Applewhite to Mike Jones, the only catch of the day for that tight end. 24-20 is the final. Texas has beaten them 3 straight times. Penn State is trying to hang on at Purdue. Drew Brees and company have the football left. 18 seconds to go deep in Penn State territory. Forney just missed a field goal that would have iced it. We'll keep you posted. And Alabama falls for the 5th consecutive time to Tennessee. Great effort by the Vols defense. They hold Sean Alexander in check. They also get a boost because of the loss by Nebraska. Lee, as called by you, the Longhorns get it done.
Well, you got to give Major Applewhite the credit at Texas. He had great passing against the win in the second half, but also Hodges Mitchell. Kirk, that guy's not bigger than this. Number 3, what a great runner he is.
Yeah, he kept going. And Texas's offense just was relentless. They looked to be denied in the first half. They kept coming back. Carl Reese, the defensive coordinator for Texas, I thought put together a great game plan. They attacked and attacked and attacked, and because of that, they were able to slow down Nebraska from running the ball, and that decided the game.
Quick thoughts now on the Battle of the Mountains about to unfold in Death Valley.
I think Clemson's going to score, and I think they're going to give Florida State all kinds of problems. I think Florida State wins closer than the experts think.
Well, I think Woodrow Dantzler is going to keep it close early because of all the emotion in this game. Look for him and his ability to escape the rush of Florida State to keep it close. Second half, as always, Florida State will begin to pull away.
All right, meanwhile, Purdue down to 13 seconds at home trying to beat Penn State. Drew Brees has the ball. We'll keep you posted on that one. But Peter Warrick ready to go for the Seminoles against Clemson in Death Valley when you come back.
They call me Oaf Dog from Sandusky, Ohio. Dog pound since '87. Football fanatic since birth. If you're a football fan like me, you got to have DirecTV. I bought my DirecTV at Walmart. Walmart's got the best prices. I have 3 dishes total. This is the one on my house. I got another one on top of my motorhome. I get football beamed right from the football gods, right through my dish and right into my veins. Football is life. With DirecTV, it's like you're there. You got to have DirecTV. You got to get to Walmart. I love football!
ESPN's presentation of primetime college football is brought to you by TGI Fridays, home of the Jack Daniels Grill, and by Walmart. Always low prices. Always.
Welcome back to Death Valley, home of the Clemson Tigers here in South Carolina. You know, it is ironic that a stadium like this that has seen so much college football history and tradition tonight hosts a very first in Division I big-time college football. Head coach father goes up against head coach son, Bobby Bowden, re-meeting number 2 son, Tommy. And you can understand why these two coaches in this game have garnered so much media attention. Bobby Bowden, in his 46th year as a college coach, could again play for the national title, while Tommy, his number 2 son, has what he calls his dream job. When he was in the 6th grade, he claims he knew he wanted to be a head coach. You know, there may be no other family that has done more for the excitement and enthusiasm of modern-day college football. In a moment, the game and gamesmanship between these two begins. But right now, Shelley Smith has the opportunity to sit down with the first family of college football.
Let's get it on!
How much do you think Tommy wants to beat you?
Well, he could put a feather in his reputation immediately with that.
Tommy deep down wants to win this game so bad. He'd sell his soul to win. I know he wants to win bad.
I think he'd think it was just the greatest thing ever.
Playing the #1 team in the nation on national TV and to win it, oh, it would do great for ego. But they'll have to play really bad and we'll have to play really good to win.
I think he's trying to butter me up. He called to tell me, you know, he's calling me and talking about how good we look and how great we are, and he's not very good, not very big kids, and can't stay with us. I talked to him the other day and told him that the game had been moved from 7 to 8. And if he showed up an hour late, maybe we could score in that first hour. I said, hey, Tommy, I done seen your film. I saw the film of your game. Don't come and tell me what you got. Looked pretty doggone good to me. He doesn't want the public to know the facts, that their quarterback is bigger than 3 of our linemen, and their kicker's bigger than all 5 of them. I'll tell you one thing. Dad and Tommy will have the book on each other. I think we both will be able to predict some of the watch-outs. You know, watch out, watch out. Tommy will do this. Tommy will do that. We've been paying Tommy's secretary on the side to slide us some of his films, so we know what they're going to be doing. They all want me to lose
close. I'm the only one that doesn't want that.
I want them to do real well, and if you still could tie in college football.
No doubt about it, Mom wants Florida State to win. She knows where the paycheck comes from, and she doesn't want her Bobby looking like he needs to be put out to pasture just yet by being beaten by young Bowden.
Just clarify, this week it's not my mother, it's his wife. I'm just claiming her.
All I know is I've got them listed in my will, and I can always change it. That's all I know.
I'm going to hit him if they win. I'm going to hit him right in the mouth.
You going to shake his hand after the game?
Will I shake his hand after the game if I win? I ain't shaking his hand if he beats me.
He ought to win. He's got the best players. I'd be disappointed if he doesn't. He's not nearly as good as what I thought if he doesn't.
And now the matriarch of the first family of college football, Ann Bowden. Congratulations. After all the preparation and all the attention your whole family has received, what now are the emotions of a mother and a grandmother?
I'll tell you right now, I'm just feeling so much pride. Pride in my husband and in my sons and in my whole family. And I want to thank everyone for being so kind and saying so many kind things about all of us.
Honestly, Ann, I think it's you who we have to thank for all your help this week. The last thing you told Coach Bobby and Coach Tommy today before they left for the stadium.
Well, I was with Tommy last night at our grandson's football game, and I gave him a hug and said good luck.
When you raise 21 grandchildren, you have to be a seamstress. You're not cheering for Clemson or Florida State. You're clearing your Clem State, right?
Well, I got the wrong shirt. The orange was supposed to have sun on it, and they gave me the wrong one. And the garnet was supposed to have Florida on it, but we got switched somehow. But I'm trying to be very impartial the best I can.
And this is a special moment for you. Enjoy it.
Thank you so much.
Ron?
Okay, Adrian. Band leaving the field. Now, I understand that we have the two coaches mic'd down on the field, and we're going to have a quick conversation with them. Bobby, after a month of build-up, and now this moment is finally here, any last-minute advice for your coach son across the field?
No, I probably need it. The atmosphere here is very much the same as it was in the Fiesta Bowl. It is really a great scene. I told my players that, you know, we've been here a lot of times, and maybe they haven't. Maybe it could be an advantage.
Tommy, one quick question for you. As your dad goes for number 300, do you have any mixed emotions about being the guy who stands in the way of history this evening?
Well, all my family has told me to win close. I'm sorry, to lose close. I'm not going to pay attention to them. They all want me to do that. Now, you know, it should be a great game, and he's going to try hard to win. I'm going to try hard to win. We just need to sit back and say who's going to do the trick first.
Any final advice, either one of you, for the other?
No, it just ought to be a great football game, and we're thankful for the opportunity.
I feel sorry for all the pressure on him tonight.
I know you got a lot on your mind. Thanks so much for taking time to visit with us. May the best Bowden win tonight, gentlemen.
Thank you. We'll see you later, boy.
Mike Gottfried joins me as usual for the telecast on Saturday primetime. This is the odds, as I said at the Open just a while ago, the odds of this happening, number 300, the national prestige and everything, to go up against your son. Actually, it's a magnificent evening.
Well, it is, Ron. It's a great thrill, and there's a lot of excitement before the ball game and after the game. But in between, these football teams are going to take the field. Florida State going to try to take another step toward the national championship. Clemson's going to try to pull the upset. They're going to forget about all of it.
Another piece to the puzzle returns tonight. And, of course, I'm talking about Peter Warrick. They have shown that they can do it without him. But what kind of impact will he have on the Seminole team tonight?
Well, Ron, they beat Miami without him. But this is a football team, Florida State, that's very talented. But they get bored. I mean, they get bored in ball games. With Peter Warrick coming back, they may hit stride tonight and may take off and head for that national championship.
Well, the weather, it is actually a little chill on the pumpkin. In the deep south, 55 right now. It's supposed to go down to around 33 degrees. Wind could be a factor tonight. Left to right, 15 miles an hour. Coach Bobby Bowden, and I'm sure that these guys are glad just to be on the sideline and get this game underway and get away from all the media and the hype. And it's time to play football. And an absolute packed house tonight. As you look at Lazara, 3 of 12 kickoffs for touchbacks this year. In fact, Bobby said earlier this week, as you look at the return men, Gardner and also Bolden. He said, I feel more comfort on the practice field because I can get away from all the outside things. From the 6-yard line, this is Gardner. We are underway, and good heavens, what a hit at the 24-yard line as number 2 Eric Meekins, a freshman, comes downfield to make the stop. Okay. Here are the Dell Computer starting lineups. Chris Winkie at quarterback. Travis Minor, the leading rusher on this ball club, out of Baton Rouge, along with Dan Kindred. The receivers, Sprague, the tight end, and there you see him. Peter Warwick will start. Ron Dugan's on the other side. And in the offensive line, a little bit of a rustle as far as Florida State is concerned. Montre Holland starts in the place of Jason Whitaker. Whitaker ill today. And Whitaker said to be their best offensive lineman. Play action, pass incomplete, and it gives us an opportunity to take a look at the Tigers defense. Reggie Herring, the defensive coordinator. McKenzie, Jolly, he's one of the captains tonight. Jason Holloman and Terry Bryant. The linebackers, a change there this week. Williams has been moved to back up in the middle, and Bodrick, who had 12 tackles against Maryland, gets the start. Ardley, Hapley, Carswell, and Polite in the secondary. 2nd down and 10. And this is Minor. Off right guard, crosses the 25 to around the 27. McKenzie is there to make the tackle. And this crowd is very pumped and into this ball game.
They're excited, Ron, and this defense has given up 65 points in the last 2 games. And when we talked to Reggie Herring, the defensive coordinator, he said this week they got to play with a lot of emotion. Well, they started that way.
So it's 3rd down. The line to make is about the 34.5-yard line. Here Horrick gets his first pass in 2.5 games. Pressure was on. Runs out of harm's way. There was Bodrick who was after him. And the pass incomplete. And it'll be punting time as Cottrell comes on.
Ron, the strategy for Clemson early is to blitz Chris Winkie. They came after him.
Just over a 41-yard average, 52 his longest, and he is kicking into the breeze. Now Lawyer, the deep man for the Clemson Tigers. And they have a return on. It's a poor kick. Wobbly spiral, and it goes away from Lawyer. Now takes a huge Florida State bounce out of bounds at the 32-yard line. So let's take a look at the starters offensively for the Clemson Tigers. Dantzler at quarterback. He's the number 2, but he's made him very productive. Zachary and Witherspoon, the receivers. Lawyer is one of the wide receivers, along with Wofford, LeMay, the tight end, and up front with the offensive line, Akeel Smith, probably the most consistent. Kyle Young also playing very well at center. Watkins, Bougros, and John McDermott, the remainder of the offensive front. They will go with a hurry-up, non-huddle, so there'll be times when we're getting it done quickly, as this running play is going to go for absolutely nothing. Tommy Poley is there to hit Zachary and knock him down, maybe for a loss. As defensively, it's Reynolds, Johnson, and Simon. Those 2 bookends in the middle, as good as anybody has in the country. It's Seymour. Poley, who just made the tackle, Jennings and Brian Allen, and in the secondary, it is Edwards, Cody Gibson, and Sean Key is the free safety. 2nd down, and like I said, with a hurry-up, Clemson is right back to the line of scrimmage. Shotgun, and they'll run option. This is Dantzler, turns it upfield, and has 4, maybe 5 yards. And it's going to be 2nd down and about 5.
And Ron, with the no huddle, it limits Florida State's substitution, gives the quarterback a chance to get a good pre-snap read on the defense, and a long time to look at it.
What Reggie Herring said the other day, that they think that they need to be at the line of scrimmage and get ready to do something with 20 seconds on that play clock.
To go.
That is very quick. 3rd down, lofts it over the middle, and that is incomplete. Looking for pass interference. Corey Simon had good pressure on. So both teams, little nerves, few jitters, 3 and out.
Yeah, I think, Ron, both teams, you talked about the atmosphere. The atmosphere is great here right now. The crowd's into the ball game. I think both teams feeling each other out in that first series.
Romano stands to punt, junior out of West Palm Beach.
Peter Warwick back.
That's the reason for the boos, is Pete is the deep man. 2 years ago, he had a coming out party here. Over 300 all-purpose yards. They kick it away from him, and Tommy proving that he is a smart young coach. And let's check in with Brian Kenny.
Ron, tremendous finish in the Big Ten, 31-25, Penn State leading Purdue. Final second down from the 12. Drew Brees for Randall Lane. No flag there. Third down, Brees threw it away. Fourth down, Brees to Chris Daniels. No, not this time either. 31-25 the final. So Penn State survives. Nebraska doesn't. News with what impact on #1 Florida State, Ron?
Boy, that Purdue team has to be as good as anybody in the country or better with 3 losses.
They put a lot of pressure on you. They've lost a couple ball games throwing the ball into the end zone at the end of the game.
Second offensive set for Florida State. You see the numbers on Winky. And that kick 48 yards out of bounds at the 14-yard line. As Tommy Bowden electing not to kick to Warwick. Straight ahead, and Minor fighting hard for about 3. Keith Adams is there defensively to make the stop. Also, Bodrick, as we mentioned, starting this week in the place of Williams.
And, Ron, you talked about Peter Warwick and his return, but the real constant's been Chris Winky, the quarterback, because Mark Richt said he has all the intangibles, the leadership, checking plays, and he really led that win against Miami without Warwick.
There's a look at Pete, 2nd down and 6. They need to take it out to the 24. Winky, a little bit off the mark at the 27. Robert Morgan is the man that he wanted. And I imagine he's a little tight. Players have to have been. There have been just a world of distractions between the 300th win thing, father-son, Peter Warwick, the whole deal.
Yeah, and Ron, you're looking at a Florida State offense that's got so many weapons, and they know they're against the defense that's been suspect the last 2 ball games.
Yeah, neither Tommy or defensive coordinator Reggie Herring were very excited about giving up that many
not
points.
This matchup.
3rd down and 6. Here they come to the blitz on the outside. Winky very quickly, hot receiver, and that's Warwick. And he will take it across the 30 to the 31. That's good for 13 yards. Ardley was out there one-on-one on an island, so to speak.
And Ron, when you talk about Peter Warwick, and Mark Richt, the offensive coordinator, said when he plays, you direct the plan to get the ball to him, and they've tried here early in the ball game. He made that catch, moves the chains, and they expect him to have a big ball game. Came into this ball game with 36 receptions for 4 touchdowns.
Actually, Ardley did a very nice job, and he is out of Tallahassee. Alex, a sophomore, playing at the cornerback spot, number 28. Here comes the reverse, and hit it behind the line. Warwick going to be hit again, and he is dropped for a huge loss of about 11 yards, and it's Keith Adams who is there to stay at home, the sophomore out of College Park, Georgia.
And Ron, he leads the ACC, Keith Adams, in tackles for losses. That's his 19th tackle for a loss. Very active linebacker that Reggie Herring, the defensive coordinator, is real proud of. Peter Warwick almost dropped his football.
Yes, he did. Well, you can see why. That's a loss of 11. It's going to be 2nd down and 21. They're going to take it all the way out to about the 40.5-yard line. Winky retreats from the shotgun, now under pressure, and he's going to go down. This Clemson defense and the fans are just fueling their emotion in this game, and they are pumped.
They really are, Ron, and Keith Adams again with another play. But you look at the receivers for Florida State. In the last 2 games, they played very well without Peter Warwick. 300-plus yards, and receivers stepped up. Florida State trying to get the ball here early in this first quarter to number 9, Warwick.
Linebackers on the outside again, come on the blitz. Puts it up on top, and that's going to be overthrown. Intended for Morgan again. And the punting team will come on, and so far, it has been 1 first down for Florida State. They have recorded 1, but it's kicked it.
Well, sometimes you wonder about practice this week. You know, how that was at Florida State. Is he, isn't he? You know, and the coach is concerned about it. The players were meeting in the offices to ask about it.
They don't have a deep man.
Now they're going to 11-man rush. Coming after this punt.
Now Lawyer is normally the return guy, but as Mike said, that's what they've got. They come after him, and he gets it away. Nobody there. Let's see what kind of a kicked it off the side of his foot. The pressure worked. So let's take a timeout. 10:05 remaining opening quarter. Still no scores. The two teams spar.
Monday Night Countdown at 7 on ESPN.
3 years ago, my IT guys told me there'd be two kinds of businesses. Those with a vision to master the internet and those without. And we didn't want to be the second kind. Then Dell came to see us. They showed us how to use the internet for direct relationships with our customers, suppliers, everyone who's a part of our business. With Dell's support, there's no limit to where I can take this company. We always knew we needed the internet. We just didn't know how badly.
Be direct. Dell. Dell servers use Intel Pentium 3 processors.
In the name of progress, man is given up more and more control to the machines of his own creation. Perhaps it is time to take some of it back. The thoroughly exhilarating TL with 5-speed sequential sport shift from Acura.
Honey, I tried every locksmith in the city, and they won't take a check.
Consider the Visa check card. It automatically deducts from your checking account everywhere Visa's accepted, so you can get what you need.
What are you doing in there?
Nothing. And get on with life. Visa check card. It's everywhere you want to be.
Maui's beauty and tranquility broken by the stiffest of competition. Hale Irwin trying for his third straight money title, his third straight Player of the Year championship. Bruce Fleischer's #1 and wants to stay that way after the second round. Fleischer in the lead, looking for his 7th win, but there are 8 golfers within 5 shots, including Hale Irwin. Join us for live coverage tomorrow.
Well, back to live action. If Florida State jumped offside, I don't know if he did a hard count or exactly what, or whether they were drawn offside, but Florida State is retreating. Ron Cherry, the referee tonight. So with the pressure and a couple of not so good kicks in the play of the Clemson defense, they have kind of flipped this field and have excellent field position with a 1st and 5. Florida State 41-yard line. Dantzler. Close to the first down. They'll miss it by about a yard. Corey Simon is there to make the stop on him.
Carl Torbush, who's the head coach in North Carolina and the former defensive coordinator, talked about Woodrow Dantzler. And he said it's like having an extra tailback in the backfield. He's that good a running threat for Clemson. Not only hurts you throwing the football, but a very good runner.
Mike, I'm not so sure that he doesn't make them even a little bit better. I think he surprised the coaches.
He's very active.
Because he has thrown the ball. They knew he could run, but he has thrown the ball better than they had anticipated. Quarterback sneak, and here's a flag in late.
It's either offside or somebody from Clemson wasn't set because it was a quick count.
That's going to be procedure against Clemson.
Yeah, sometimes a quarterback will go up there and he'll say first sound. I don't know how you move when he says first sound.
Chris Winkie on the sideline with a towel around his neck. He's had a couple of series. They did have 1 first down. That was the 13-yard completion to Warwick. Florida State shows blitz, and here they come. They get it away. And out there one-on-one is Gardner. That's a nice job. Good quick pass. And Dantzler read that very nicely.
Ron, that's Gardner's 46th catch. The record at Clemson for a season is 70, and the receiver said that record's going down this year, and Rod Gardner has a chance to break that record.
Nice read by Dantzler. Very calm and collected as the blitz was coming from every direction, and he got it complete. They dance around in the middle again, and a quarterback draw, and that's not going to work because that's exactly where they were coming from.
Ron, Rich Rodriguez is the architect of this offense. He designed this offense at Glenville West Virginia State University. He saw how many teams do very well with the 2-minute offense. He put it in. It's a seed of the 2-minute offense with a sense of urgency. They want to keep the pressure on the defense.
2nd down and 12. Fakes the run, and now he's going to throw the ball. And probably a good thing that he threw that one short. You can see trying to get it to Wofford, who had come out of the backfield. Actually, good-looking play as they faked the run going to the left, and he pulled it out and threw almost like an option pass.
Need a little more time. Oh, Roland Seymour, number 56, was heating up Woodrow Dantzler. There's Rich Rodriguez.
On 3rd down, steps up, going to try to run it. Gets it to the outside, and here's where Dantzler will find out very quickly. They played some good people this year, but they haven't played linebackers and defensive backs that pursue as quickly as this group does.
This whole defense pursues very well. Mickey Andrews this week, the defensive coordinator, says he's unhappy with the whole defense. So he said they lose focus every now and then.
Well, I thought the strongest statement that he made, and this is Mickey, though, he's right up front with you on everything. He said, we're not playing well enough to win a national championship right now on defense. They're going to go for it on 4th down. They have to take it to the 22-yard line. Good protection. Gets his pass way too high, and he threw it to the short man, so it would not have been a first down anyway.
Bad decision by Woodrow Dantzler.
So there's a break in the action. We'll take it with him. 8-12 left. No score.
So, Butterfield, what do you think about the new CEO?
Well, sir, he's a good man. The job he did over at Clemson Incorporated was really, really good. With emerging, remember? And that spin-off thing.
When you're not informed, it shows. Hoover's Online. Know thy stuff.
Hi, I'm Michael Jordan.
I'm Elmer Fudd.
Big news. America's going crazy for MCI 5 cents every day. Now it's 5 cents a minute every evening and all weekend long.
Now, a roving reporter. Let's find out how a typical American feels about MCI's 5 cents every day offer.
I'm speechless.
I'm soaked.
Now, Michael, so just call 1-800 every day to join.
Is that a whap?
That's a whap.
What can we guarantee during Sears Days? All the best names at the season's guaranteed lowest prices. Practically everything you've always wanted on sale for 12 days. And 12 days only. Hurry, sale ends Wednesday.
I know the truth about tires. And I have proof. Pep Boys has tires from 4 for $99 to the Futura SE's motor trends that were impressive. The truth will set me free. Pep Boys. Cars like us.
People love us.
The Knowles are rolling, but Bobby Bowden remembers what a trap Charlottesville can be.
Florida State, Virginia at 7, next Saturday on ESPN.
ESPN's presentation of primetime college football is brought to you by Acura. Cars are our passion. Engineering is our art. And by Visa. It's everywhere you want to be. Well, I hope somebody got the number of the seat where that kid that had that warm outfit on. We got a couple of spotters that might try to go spot that or steal that before the
won't fit their hands.
Well, Florida State, 9 plays, 4 yards. So their 3rd offensive possession of the night. They scrimmage from the 30. Winky zings this one complete to Warwick. Dexter Polite is the man who was there, and now it looks as though Florida State's going to go to their own version of the hurry-up.
And, Ron, the pressure that Clemson's putting on Florida State, I wouldn't be surprised you see a screen here real soon to slow down the rush of Clemson from the outside.
It is a first down just across the 40. This is the...
And try to run Travis Minor a little bit right inside of him.
Short drop and good pass to the sideline, and Morgan again incomplete, too tall for him. Normally in a big ball game, when you look at the numbers, Minor is the guy that they go to even more. But we haven't seen that much of him in this game. Actually, I think is at a pace that might even favor Clemson a little bit more than Florida State right now.
I think what's happened to Chris Weinke is they've done a nice job of disguising coverages, and they have him thrown off right now.
2 of 7, 22 yards for him. Here they come from the outside again. And this one he's got complete. Dugans. DeMarco Fox was out there with him, and then very quickly you could see a lot of other orange jerseys coming into the vicinity to help out.
Ron, when you get in a situation where you start getting a beat on the plan of Reggie Herring, what he does on second down, he's bringing both outside linebackers.
3rd down and 6. Line to make just across the 50. If you just joined us, no score. 7:15 to play, opening quarter. Here they come again. They fake it on one side, go back to zone, pass to Morgan complete, and that'll be good for the first down, plus about 10 yards. He gains 13 on the play.
See, that's the strategy on 2nd and 3rd down. Just wear out Chris Wanke and bring him. And they're not giving him a lot of time to throw. He did a nice job there releasing the ball early. Robert Morgan with a good catch. And there comes the heat from the outside. One back offense, they can pick one of them up, can't pick the other.
Minor bounces it outside, 5 yards, has 10, and counted off at 11. The longest run from scrimmage tonight. Minor has it, and on back-to-back plays, they move the chain.
Yeah, Ron, that'll slow down the outside backers a little bit when you run inside of them. And Travis Minor, you mentioned about how he comes up in big games. 12 games as a starter against top 25 teams. He's averaging 102 yards, 6 touchdowns, and 30 catches, so he comes up big.
His longest run of the year, 47 yards. They go back to a shotgun. And those linebackers come from the outside in the blitz again. Florida State picks it up nicely. Warren spun down inside the 20. That's good for another Florida State first down. And all of a sudden, this Clemson defense that had been picking them and giving them a lot of trouble, 3 plays and 3 straight first downs.
And Ron, what's happening now, they go to 2 backs on first down right here, 2 backs, and they pick up the outside backers. Now you got it blocked. You block with maximum protection, only 3 receivers out. A good call by Mark Richt.
And the chess match continues. Minor bounces it to the outside. At the 15, puts the head down, and then he's going to have about 8 yards on that play. Ardley submarined him, and let's see where they give him a spot. I think it's going to be about the 12.5-yard line.
You see how he bends that right back. He gets the football. You give it to him about 3.5 yards behind the line of scrimmage where he's square, and he can cut back against the grain. That's exactly what he did.
Reggie.
Yeah, Reggie's pulling everything out.
He is so emotional when it comes to his team. You see the ball was never snapped. It is loose and recovered by Florida State. Now there are flags everywhere as former quarterback Dan Kendra made the recovery. Well, Florida State, had they lost that, they would have gotten very fortunate.
It just didn't come up. I think he pulled his hands out a little bit early. And Ron, when we were looking at Reggie Herring there, I read a quote where he said about his young defense. He said, "I can't lose any more here. I guess my eyebrows will be the next to go."
Well, this is the 8th play of the drive. 2nd down, and the line to make is about the 9.5-yard line. Right after that. Pretty good numbers inside the 20-yard line. Minor right up the gut, and he is just crushed. Jolly, one of the first men on the tackle, then helped from the linebacker. His man looks on, visiting with the relatives and friends as this one goes on. Jolly, an interesting thing, he's a captain for tonight. If you're a captain, you don't get to run the hill, touch the rock, and come down the hill because you have to come out early. He asked Tommy if he could give up being a captain tonight so he could run the hill in this ball game. Tommy said, "No, you're a captain. You're going to come down early." 3rd down. Right over the middle. Dugans, and he will not have the first down. Mike, all right, what decision do you make? Do you go on the 4th down, or do you get the short 3 points?
I think you go for the 4th down right here. You're expected to be the better ball club. You can pick up a yard, but they're going to kick the field goal. They're going to bring in the sure points with Janikowski. want to get on the board, but Bobby Bowden's been known to fake a field goal here and there.
Outson is the holder, and Marcus will go down at around the 18-yard line, so it's a 28-yard attempt. And if any college in America has a true weapon, it is this gentleman right here, Sebastian Janikowski.
Just got a delay of game.
He just yanked it. Boy, did he get lucky. A delay of game, and the crowd doesn't know it yet. The crowd doesn't know they're going to have to move back 5 yards, but he gets another shot.
Yeah, just got a practice shot. But Ron, you're so right. He is a weapon on kickoffs where he kicks the ball out of the end zone. Field position game. He's 255 pounds. Could be a fullback.
So now the crowd gets silent. They think, well, we stopped him. And not so. The clock stopped him. And he's going to get another attempt. This one will be 33 yards. So we said Outson the holder. And, of course, you remember last year's national championship game, Winky injured. And it was Marcus who was the quarterback for the Seminoles in that one. Good pass. Kick is up, and he doesn't miss this one. So the first one, he was allowed a mulligan on the delay of game, and with 3:43 left in the opening quarter, Janikowski puts the Seminoles up 3-0.
Felt like a car salesman got your goat. The Cheryl Salmon Auto Superstore is a different kind of car dealership. And what makes us different? All vehicles sold at Cheryl Salmon have a 30-day, 1,000-mile warranty. We offer competitive bank financing and on-the-spot leasing. We've been in the same convenient location for over 30 years, and of course, we have one of the largest car selections in town. The Cheryl Salmon Auto Superstore is the one-stop shop for all your automotive needs. Stop by and see us.
Discover a little piece of Europe in South Alabama. Here in Mobile, you'll enjoy a breathtaking glimpse into one of the world's most fascinating and tragic love stories. Nicholas and Alexandra, the last imperial family of Tsarist Russia. And while you're here, see a bit of Scottish history come to life, too, at Magnolia Grove, part of Alabama's famous Robert Trent Jones Golf Trail. Join us in Mobile for the wealth of an empire and the treasures of a world-class golf trail.
More people are choosing Lowe's, and here's why.
There's a complete hardware store inside of every Lowe's. We have more hardware than anyone.
Over 8,000 items in stock.
Including the one you need. And guaranteed everyday low prices. Things like bolts, springs, cabinet hardware. Even this. Extruded U-nuts? Sure. And in 6 different sizes. Plus ropes, chains, construction hardware, and more.
Everything from washers to dryers.
But that's another commercial.
When it comes to home improvement, Lowe's knows.
We're back, and take a look at this sideline between recruits, photographers, media from all over. Tim Beret does an outstanding job here at Clemson. He is the sports information director. And I emailed him earlier in the week and said, keep a count of your strangest request. And he said, well, that's very easy. He emailed me back and said he got a request from C-SPAN to come down and cover the game. Here's a kick, got to be 6 yards deep in the end zone. And again, Janikowski proves his worth, as there will be no return, and they'll scrimmage from the 20-yard line. Well, coming up, week number 7 of Monday Night Football, Mike Tirico and company start the evening with ESPN's Monday Night Countdown at 7 Eastern. Then at 9 o'clock on ABC, the Atlanta Falcons head to Three River Stadium to face Pittsburgh. And the bus, well, it's on a roll. Jerome Bettis, 111 yards, 2 touchdowns last week for the Steelers. ESPN and ABC, your exclusive home for primetime NFL football. Anyway, I'll finish that story in just a moment. As they go on offense, and Dantzler going to take it up the middle, has 5, has 10, loose into secondary, and Dantzler with his longest run from scrimmage tonight. That is good for 18 yards.
Spread them out and make your quarterback tailback, because that's exactly what Tommy Bowden and Rich Rodriguez, the offensive coordinator, trying to do to Florida State. Spread them all over the field.
5 carries, 29 yards for Dantzler so far. Quick look in pass, and on the quick post, boy, Gardner was there. In fact, if he throws that and leads him a little bit,
chance. There's no free safety.
That's right. There's no free safety there, and there was a lot of running room.
Ron, they won with 20 seconds to go on that clock. They want to be able to snap the football. They don't huddle up. They don't substitute many times. They'll just line up and go against Florida State's defense.
Well, there you go, 19 and now 18, and see, they're moving folks all over the place. Not snapping it quite as quickly this time. They roll the pocket toward those 3 wide receivers, and he gets it out to Lawyer. And Lawyer going to be pushed back to the original line of scrimmage. So that one, a lot of movement, and may have looked good on paper, but Cleavon Thomas is out there to make sure it does nothing.
That's one, if you're Mal Lawyer, you say, throw that play out, because there was a lot of movement, but all of a sudden I got a headache getting hit by 2 Florida State players.
By the way, to put a period on that story with Tim Beret and C-SPAN, he said, actually, unless you know something I don't, one of them is running for office here shortly. The answer is no in the pass. So he got a request from just about everybody this week, wanting to come and see father-son, Bowden Bowl #1, and the possibility of number 300. Lofts this one, and that's going to be well out of bounds, wanting to get Gardner. But nothing doing on the fade there, just faded about 5 yards out of bounds.
And that was a concern of the Clemson's offense, that Florida State would bump and run their receivers. They haven't seen a lot of bump and run this week, and there was no place to throw that fade. Thomas with good coverage.
Romano coming into punt. It's his second one. Reggie Durden is the deep man for the Seminoles back at the 25. 3-0, Florida State leads, and we're in the closing moments of this opening quarter. Dandy high spiral all the way back. He has to run away from it. He better get away from that at the 5-yard line now with the 4, and they're going to touch it dead at the 1. And Durden stayed so close, he should have run totally away from that one. Dangerous situation.
He should have fair caught it.
Yeah. 60 yards, that's a career long. So Romano comes up big and pins the Seminoles down deep.
You see, he should have made the fair catch, but he misjudged the football. Reggie Durden.
But see, instead of getting away from it immediately, he's still running along looking at it. What if that thing had come back like
and it hit him, and
like a pitching wedge? He would have.
That would have been the last time he would have gone out for a punt return.
Travis Minor, the lone back behind Winky. Here comes a blitz off the corner, and they throw it complete. They're well off of Morgan. He'll have the first down plus about 6 more yards.
That's what happens early in the ball game, Ron. You see the speed of those receivers, and you back off a little bit of Florida State's receivers. But they were hitting the blitz. Robert Morgan's had a pretty good first quarter.
2 for 28 yards for him now. Under 2 minutes to play, first period. Dugan's in motion, but they go with a running play. And Minor, maybe a gain of only 1. Keith Adams has been all everything in the opening quarter. You can see why they have him starting. Brian Kenny, let's check with you.
Ron, UCLA in the national title scene last year, now needing to win 3 of its last 4 to be bowl eligible. And here's Oregon State, 0-3 in the Pac-10. Jonathan Smith takes it himself. 21-7 Oregon State leading UCLA right now. And Oklahoma leading the Aggies 17-0 right now in the first quarter in the Big 12, Ron.
Well, I have to say, the 2 guys sitting in the booth over our breakfast picks today, that was one of the ones we picked. Warwick can't hold on, and it's going to go incomplete. The Texas A&M offense hasn't shown up every week.
No, one thing about Oklahoma, they get out of the gate quick. I don't know if they can hold on, though, but they get out quick. Peter Warwick just couldn't hold on to this football. Light on the defense, knocked the ball away. Winky looks like he settled down to me. Now he has control of the offense, the blitz. There's the fans reminding they're on Peter Warwick here tonight.
3rd down and 10. They need to take this out to the 27 to keep the drive going. Again, you see they show blitz on the outside, and here they come. Winky, good pickup by Florida State, still standing there, and I think it's, we thought we heard a whistle.
Yeah, if they blew a whistle, they blow it very loud there, and everybody didn't know it.
Another delay of game. So in the first quarter, 2 delay of game penalties against the Seminoles.
Yeah, Ron, you come into the ball game early. He wants the football. He just didn't get it. and you walk with your quarterbacks and you show them where the 25-second clock is, and you make them aware when you're on the road of where the clock's at. He wanted the football. Center just didn't snap the football on the call.
Yep, you want them to know exactly where that clock is, and in that case, they let it expire. So 2 delay penalties on the Seminoles, and they look at a 3rd down and 15. Here they come again from the outside on the blitz. Florida State picks it up nicely, and this pass incomplete, and they're going to throw a flag.
Now, Ron, this ball was not catchable, but Peter Warwick tried. He slowed down. Now, give him credit here. Peter Warwick pulled up, tried to go back for the football. He would have needed a net to catch it, though. Dexter Polite was on the coverage, and Peter Warwick really is behind. He's got him beat, but the ball is underthrown, so Peter Warwick pulls up.
That's a horrible
and he now
call.
Doesn't allow him to come back.
That's a horrible call.
Yeah, I said he would have needed a net to get back.
Bolden into the ball game, number 4.
Here's a talented young player.
Yeah, they think that he is the next
Peter Warwick.
Yep. But it's Minor on the carry. And Travis, the junior from Baton Rouge, is going to have a gain of about 5 out to the 33. Robert Carswell making the tackle.
Tommy Bowden trying to get a hold of the official out there that made the call.
Well, I don't blame him. His dad's club doesn't need any help. Pitch to Minor. Blocker in front. That's Kendra. And boy, Chad Carson, a sophomore out of Noonan, Georgia, went skyward and made the stop on him. It's going to be 3rd down. Florida State needs about 3 yards to get the first.
Tommy Bowden likes Chad Carson. He said he plays the game the way it should be played. Biology major, 3.89 grade point average. So smart, and he'll hit you.
No lectures to him about going to study hall. That is the end of the first quarter. So we'll take a break. Florida State 3, Clemson nothing. We head to the second 15 right after this.
G-forces. Compose in millimeters. You won't find our work in museums, for we are artists of the streets. Our art places form in harmony with function. Invigorates heart and mind, moves body and soul. Cars are our passion. Engineering is our art. Acura.
Round the road to number 1.
Sugar Bowl! And nothing's gonna stop us! Look out!
Now what? There's an easier way to the national championship. Nokia's Road to #1 sweepstakes. Just buy any Nokia model phone in a specially marked box and you can win trips to the Nokia Sugar Bowl or thousands of other great prizes.
I'm not giving up shotgun.
Nokia. Connecting people. people.
Mom, Dad, if I'm paying rent, I gotta have a better breakfast than this.
Mark.
I know there's some dietary restrictions at the table, but no way.
What would you like, Mark?
Potatoes, sausage, eggs.
Would you like me to serve that to you in a nice warm skillet?
That would be great.
What does this look like? A Holiday Inn?
Want a better breakfast? Try our award-winning Best for Breakfast menu at today's Holiday Inn.
We're back 3-0 Florida State. Keith Adams, what a first quarter. 3 tackles, 2 for a loss, and 1 sack. So, Mike, his year going extremely well.
Gives him 20 tackles for losses. He leads the ACC.
3rd down and 3. Winky short drop, and he gets it out in the flat. And did he hold on? Yep, Peter Warwick. And that's good for the first down. And if he does not go out and stretch out for that football, they're punting again.
Nice catch. Good concentration on that play. And he's doing a little talking to the defensive backs. Crutchfield was on him that time.
41-yard line. 4 catches for 43 yards for Peter Warwick in the early going of this first half. Winky again going to go on top on this one. He's looking for Warwick, and that ball knocked away by Warwick. And Clemson wanted an offensive pass interference.
I don't think so, Ron. I don't agree with that one. I think Peter Warwick did a nice job there. Alex Ardley in good position. He played defense on the defender. But they're trying to go to Peter Warwick, throwing the football. Fade route. Alex Ardley covering.
Mike,
he's on
the back. The football. He's on the back. That should have been offensive pass interference.
They're calling a personal foul on Clemson.
So all of a sudden, major penalty here, and it's first down at the 43.5-yard line of Clemson. Winky got it to Warwick again. Breaks 1 tackle, and he'll take it inside the 35, around the area for the first down, and it's Ardley who makes the stop on him.
Well, Mark Richt says when Peter Warwick's in the ballgame, we design the plays to get him the football. They are sure doing this in the first half. He is the center of attention. Already 5 catches. Ronnie sat out 2 games, though. I don't think he has any shot for the Heisman Trophy. None.
Mike, we think that was roughing the quarterback. We didn't see the flag goes down, and with a personal foul and the 15-yard penalty, we're still trying to check and find out from the Red Hat if that is exactly what the call was.
Yeah,
there's
on Jolly, Terry Jolly, number 92.
And that is a good call.
Chris
He hit him head high.
Chris Wanke has really settled this football team down since the early first quarter. He's bigger than Jolly.
9th play of the drive for the Seminoles. Minor head of steam and nice blocking up front by Holland, Thomas, and that hole is there. Carswell having to come up from the secondary, and that's a gain of over 10 yards on that running play.
Yeah, you got to credit Mark Richt, because early in this ball game they weren't hitting on all cylinders, and Reggie Herring was blitzing them. Now they've settled down in this football game. Got a nice little game plan going on here. Keep them honest with the run, and they're throwing the ball to Warwick.
Short yardage this time is he's going to have actually about 4 yards. Gary Childress, the junior out of Hermitage, Tennessee, comes over to make the stop. You look at Mark Richt.
Nice offensive coach. He does a nice job with this offense. Got good play mix tonight.
Second and 7, play action. Winky deep over the middle, and should have been intercepted by Meekins. I mean, he just cut right in front of, baited him very well.
Ron, I think what happened on that play, the inside linebacker, Eric Meekins, number 2, doubled up on the inside receiver, and Chris Wanke didn't read it. There they got him doubled. Number 12, DeMarco Fox, the safety, the linebacker underneath Dugans, should have had that interception. They're doubling up the inside receiver.
Third down, and they need to take it to about the 10.5-yard line. And 3-0 Florida State leads. Clemson creeps up. Here they come with the blitz on the outside, and he is going to be sacked. Bodrick and then Adams coming in to share the sack, and this crowd is going crazy here in Clemson.
Ronnie, except for the fact that you got Janikowski, you almost took him out of field goal range, but he just couldn't unload the football. Wasn't quick enough to get rid of the football. Bodrick, number 42, Keith Adams, 43, puts the pressure on, just couldn't dump the ball off.
So this attempt is going to be 45 yards by Janikowski, squarely in the middle of the field. As long as 47. I think it's because he hadn't kicked anything longer than that, and he is wide left.
Well, that's a win for Reggie Herring and his defense.
No question. Timeout on the field, 12:15 until halftime. 3-0 Noles.
Which Sports Center do you watch? Mornings, evenings, late nights? Only on ESPN.
I was driving my Saturn through the intersection when the truck ran the red light. To tell you the truth, I can't remember what I was thinking while it was happening. Afterwards, when I realized I'd walked away from the accident, I do remember thinking one thing. That my Saturn's safety features have pretty much sold me on buying another one.
This is a real mom-and-pop hardware store. I think we have a nice family feel. A couple of months ago, we got a little bump in our car. Oh, we've been with our State Farm agent for 26 years. Because I think he puts his personal self into it. Just like we do at the hardware store, he actually listens to what your needs are. It makes me feel pretty important.
Get to know your State Farm agent.
You can't put a price on a good relationship.
Gentle, Donald. Slowly. Okay. That's good.
How much you want for your pot? 500. 600.
Introducing Cozone.com, the place to find computer help and buy what's right for you.
Hey.
Hey, yourself.
Cozone.com. We can help.
ESPN's presentation of primetime college football is brought to you by Saturn, a different kind of company, a different kind of car. And by State Farm Insurance. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. And we are back 13 plays, 71 yards, and a missed field goal. And very quickly, Clemson out on the field and ready to run that hurry-up offense.
Getting a play call from the sideline.
You could see Zachary, his tailback, moved over to the left. He was lined up on the right. And they start this so early. That's the reason there's no delay. So he turns into a blocker. Here's Dantzler, puts a head down, crosses the 30 to the 33, and Jennings will finally stop him. Adrian Carson, let's check with you, partner.
Ron, the Tiger offense best friend tonight could be George Burton III. No, he doesn't show up in your program until you get to the umpire, one of the officials. He's the man right now setting the ball. They want to snap this ball with no less than 20 seconds left on the clock. Talked to him before the game, said we want to be as invisible as possible, just keep this game moving. He's the one who really gets the offense moving for Clemson.
You know what, Adrian? Florida State, just as you were talking, that's a great report, because as you were talking, Florida State had 12 men in the field, and they were trying desperately to call a timeout.
Well, Derek Gibson, number 6, just went in the official's face, and I'm not so sure he got it in time, but they did get the timeout.
So we'll take the break with them, 3-0 Seminoles, and we'll be right back.
When you design a car in Germany, you test it here, the Nürburgring. We came here to test a new, larger Saturn, to be built in America, but designed with German engineers. And they told us,
manchmal muss man einfach in den Ring steigen.
And man, they were right. Wow. Bigger engine, new suspension. Woo! We sure learned a lot from the Germans.
Guten Morgen.
But we could still learn a lot more.
I think you just said good stomach.
The new LS, born in Germany, built here.
Looking for something different from the same old, same old? Your search is over. Because we've got 2 incredible toaster sandwiches right here at Sonic. Our new buffalo chicken covered with tangy buffalo wing sauce, or our bacon cheeseburger smothered with hickory sauce, bacon, and smoked cheddar on big Texas toast. Both made fresh just for you. For one-of-a-kind flavor like this, you know where to come.
Sonic America's driving.
For an extra kick, try our cheddar peppers this month for only 99 cents.
The hard-hitting Hokies take their hunt for a national championship to Pittsburgh.
Virginia Tech Pittsburgh at 7, next Saturday on ESPN2.
And Bowden looks on, 3-0 the score. 11:42 left until halftime, and Clemson again set and raring to go on offense with a 2nd and 5, and you see the Seminoles back off. They go with a 3-man rush. And here's Dantzler. He's going to break that thing off for a good gain out over the 45 before Chris Hope will come up and make the tackle. Now, we talk about a family affair. And Mike, look at this. The coaches, these are Clemson coaches. Tommy, of course. Brad Scott, assistant head coach, former offensive coordinator for the Noles. Reggie Herring, defensive coordinator. Florida State Hall of Famer, former captain. Rick Stockstill, I should say, former captain. And, of course, Jack Hines, who was his son-in-law. So huge connection with the Seminoles here at Clemson. Dantzler going to have to tuck this one and run for his life, and he gets out of bounds. And they will spot him out at the 46, which is about the line of scrimmage. And it was Bradley Jennings who ran him out.
They're doing a good job of scheming Florida State's defense. They're getting them in different sets and then calling the plays from the sideline.
Jeff Bowden, another one of the sons who is the receivers coach for the Seminoles. Paces on the sideline. So actually this is impressive what Tommy Bowden's club has and Rich Rodriguez have forced them to do, because they do a great job at a 4-man rush and not bringing anybody, but forced them into a 3-man. And, of course, that is to protect against the scramble. And here he goes with a quarterback draw.
Flag down, Ron.
Tommy Pauly comes over to make the tackle. We'll check the flag back at the line of scrimmage. Clemson, you can see pointing ahead, saying that it is against the Seminoles. So they'll get 5 and the down. So it'll be 2nd down and about 2.5.
This is what I was talking about in the open. Sometimes Florida State just get bored. They just seems like they have so much talent. And I don't think they've been as impressive this year as we've seen them in the past.
Well, I mentioned that guy right there, Mickey Andrews, who just says it exactly the way it is and what's on his mind.
Offside on the defense. That's a 5-yard penalty from the previous spot. Replay the down.
Mickey said on the conference call the other day, just very frankly, we have not played well enough to win a national championship. We must play better on defense. Of course, he's not talking about the offensive side of the ball, only his guys. Second down, and that's Zachary, who is going to be stopped after a gain of about a half-yard. And now it's 3rd down, Clemson. They need that ball just inside the Seminole 45-yard line.
A nice job by Tommy Pauly, number 29. He read the run right away, and he tackled Zachary in the hole, forcing this 3rd down.
So the decision now, they keep it on the ground as Florida State comes back with a 4-man rush. Or do they put it in the air from the shotgun? Dantzler right over the middle, and he's got it complete, and that's Gardner. That's good, I believe. Well,
yeah, I think it is.
Yeah, it's
First
good.
down.
Gibson is there defensively to make the stop.
Gardner, 6'3", 211 pounds, a former quarterback in high school, with a good catch came into the night with 45 catches, just keeps adding to it.
1st and 10. Again, they go with Zachary. And Zachary spinning around close to the 40 is David Warren, who's a second-teamer behind Roland Seymour. And there's an example of what kind of depth they have on the defensive front. Warren, the USA Defensive Player of the Year a couple of years ago, actually 3 years ago, out of Tyler, John Tyler, out in Texas. Related to Earl Campbell. People were, some were surprised that he didn't go to Texas, but he said he wanted to go and play for the Seminoles. He thought he would enjoy the national publicity, and they get plenty of that, as he has witnessed here tonight.
Texas is getting a little bit now themselves.
It's a huge win for Mack Brown today. You're right.
Prior to the snap, false start on the offense. That's a 5-yard penalty. We still have 3rd down.
Mike, I'll tell you what happened earlier this week, and this is what you have seniors for. Corey Simon just really not only an outstanding football player, he is an outstanding young man. And he called a senior meeting. Coach Bowden called them together in the middle of the week. They had their regular coaches meeting with the players, and he said, Coach, I'd like to have a senior meeting. And they went over underneath that big tree out on the practice field, and supposedly none of the coaches went over there, but the gist of the conversation, a couple of the players said it was just a thing of, hey, keep your heads on straight and let's forget all these distractions. This is an important game. This ball is thrown up for grabs and almost intercepted. That was Sean Key, who was retreating and tried to catch it over his head.
Well, that was David Warren that just came in with a hit on Dantzler and forced the fly ball.
Mike, let's go back to what I said about Corey Simon, though, and a very responsible kid and a very good football player, but also one of the leaders on this team. I know that you appreciate it as a coach, having a young man like that who would call the seniors together and collectively say, hey, we got to get it done and lead.
And that's what they're looking for tonight, a little bit more consistency out of this team.
Pressure, Dantzler gets whacked again, and that ball is overthrown. Now, one of the things in watching this offense that happens quite a bit is the quarterback gets hit a lot.
Well,
and when you're playing somebody like Florida State, I don't know how wise that is.
Well, any offense where you open it up and you have 5 receivers in the ball game, Roland Seymour now has not been blocked the last 2 times. And he's hit number 1, Woodrow Dantzler.
So Romano, you see his 2 kicks. What an average tonight, 53.5, and you hear the boos. That means that Peter Warwick is the deep man for the Seminoles. And Romano is going to throw a pass. He's got a man wide open at the 30. 1st and 10, Clemson, the first trick play of the night, and it's Williams, a reserve linebacker. And I almost thought I saw a smile on Bobby's face.
I'll tell you what Paul Brown, the great coach of the Cleveland Browns and Bengals, used to talk about: when you have trick plays, run yours first. So Tommy Bowden draws first blood because that discourages the other coach from calling a play.
Williams, who normally is a starter at linebacker, and we mentioned to you that Bodrick was getting to start tonight. He's one of the personal protectors, right?
Yes, and they know so much about Florida State with that coaching connection.
Here we go with Zach. Run to the right. Has 5. Has 10. Well, maybe they're going to stop it at 9.5 yards. Sean Key will make the tackle. And again, this crowd is up and they are cheering. It's a 3-0 ball game, and Clemson not only very much in this thing, but a touchdown right here. And this 86,000 plus is going to go on its ear. LeMay and Sergalis, the 2 tight ends in the ball game for the Clemson Tigers. Zachary right up the middle, not much doing as Seymour submarines him. And let's check in again with Brian Kenny. Brian?
Ron, Texas A&M has beaten up on the Sooners pretty good the last 2 years, but here, Josh Heupel to Darrell Jackson, and then the pitch to Antoine Savage. Sooners picking up about 25 yards there later on the drive. 4th down and goal, they're going for it. Heupel by himself, 27-0, Oklahoma up on the Aggies.
Well, Brian, you'd have to call that play a hook and a short ladder.
Well, that was, I've not seen that one before. Oklahoma getting off to a real quick start.
Boy, 27-0. the students, of course, very young staff up there. Got his brother down from K-State and his co-defensive coordinator.
Mark Mangino, offensive line coach, recruited most of those K-State players. Excellent recruiter. Got a nice staff.
So it's going to be third down, and you could see how far they need. Mickey Andrews standing on the sideline, got a hand on Reggie Durden on his shoulder pads. I'm sure getting ready to send him in the ball game after this play, depending on what happens. And now with the quick substitutions, they get an extra defense or an extra tight end in the ball game. And a handoff straight ahead, and they got it. Zachary will pick up the first down. Brian Allen on the tackle. It was Woodward, the third tight end they rushed in.
They're doing a good job of formationing Florida State's defense because they'll run somebody on, then they adjust them, and they're catching Florida State with a quick movement. Here they move them to the left. Florida State can adjust. They get the first down.
Chagallus was the man who was throwing the block. Fakes it to Zachary. Now tries to throw the ball. Still on his feet. Broke 2 tackles, and he's down to the 7-yard line. Gibson finally put a stop on Woodrow Dantzler.
But Tommy Pauly had a shot at him. Couldn't bring him down. Didn't wrap up. Woodrow Dantzler, who's 5'11", 200 pounds, sophomore. You talked about it, Ron. He took over the quarterback job, and he gives an added threat. The run.
13 plays, 65 yards so far. Dantzler, 53 yards rushing and 14 by the rest of the team, and a timeout taken by Florida State. And the crowd applauds, knowing that maybe Mickey Andrews and his guy a little confused right now. We'll take a timeout.
All I do is dream of you the whole night through. With the dawn I still go on and dream of you. You're every thought, you're everything, you're every song I ever sing.
For those who must design trucks to compete with Dodge Ram, there is no rest.
All I do is dream of you.
It's a story about a man and a bear. Together they learned. They grew. They faced a long winter with little food. After that, it's just a story about a bear.
Ready for your own outdoor adventure? Enter Napa's Great Outdoor Adventure Sweepstakes and Sale. You could win a '99 Chevy Silverado, a Kawasaki ATV, or one of over 5,000 Poulan chainsaws. Enter at a participating Napa Auto Parts store today.
Students at Bristol University's College of Fashion Design learn to translate trends into success.
Ever since the Broncos got rid of those orange jerseys, they've won the Super Bowl. So I figured new uniforms work for Denver. Why not Buffalo? Plaid and denim. I thought of this while watching The Nook of the North. We'll shape the helmet like a little cup of blue cheese dressing.
This kid could be onto something.
Sunday NFL Countdown at 11 on ESPN.
Back in Death Valley, Clemson, South Carolina, very chilly Saturday night, and nobody is feeling the chill because it is very warm in the stands. And Mike, that is 2 defensive timeouts called by Florida State tonight. Twice, Clemson has caused confusion, and they had 12 men on the field.
Yeah, with a hurry-up offense, and they're changing formations. Once they get inside the 30-yard line, they've had 2 tight ends one time, 5 receivers, and all of a sudden they've caught Florida State with 12 men on the field. And they forced the timeout. They're hurrying up again.
Chris Woods, the freshman out of Folkston, Georgia, was the fellow who was supposed to get off in the last play, and Mickey was waiting for him on the sideline. Quarterback draw right up the middle. That is a great job. Reynolds is there. Corey Simon is there. Those 2 defensive tackles of Simon and Johnson, as I said earlier in the ballgame when we did the lineups, those bookends are as good as anybody has in America.
Well, what makes it tough down here for the bookends and all the defense is because Woodrow Dantzler is such a good runner, and they spread you out. He tried to hit the quarterback draw on that last play.
About to go under 6 minutes left until halftime. Dantzler throw, got it right there. Touchdown, Gardner. attempt coming up by Lazara. The kick is up, and he's good. So as we go to break, 6:17 remaining until halftime, and our new score is Clemson 7 and the Seminoles 3.
Brands guaranteed to stop you in your tracks. Prices guaranteed the lowest of the season at a sale that's guaranteed to end real soon. Sears Days. Nobody else has a sale where you can save so much on so many different kinds of things. Kenmore to KitchenAid. Dockers to Die Hard. It's the sale for the season's lowest prices. It's only 12 days. It's Sears Days. The good life at a great price. Guaranteed.
As you might expect, Keller and I don't see eye to eye on investing. I like to avoid risk. Keller's a little more daring. We do, however, share the same new way to trade online.
Introducing Power Street by Fidelity, the first site with trading tools customized by Lycos to fit your life, your goals, your unique way of doing things.
Look, the market's up. Or, in your case, down.
Power Street Online Trading. Call or visit Fidelity.com to open an account.
Hey, man, how come every time I call you, you're on the phone? Who are you talking to?
My friends, family. I call them a lot since I don't get to see them that much.
Phone bills must be killing you.
Not at all. I dial 10-10-321. It's only 8 cents a minute for calls over 10 minutes. That's 50% off.
And when you're talking with family and friends, you just know you're going to be on for a while.
Sounds good. My wife's on the phone all the time with her sister. Hey, man, am I ever going to get to shoot?
Not when you're playing against me.
So 7-3, and the folks wearing orange here tonight have gotten terribly excited. They're a big underdog in this ball game, but everywhere you went in this small town this week, there was something painted on everybody's store window. As you look at Bolden and hang on because he can get it done quickly. Back out across midfield and into Clemson territory, and Chris Campbell made the tackle after a 38-yard return.
Ron, what happened on the touchdown play? Rod Gardner starts like it's going to be a quick slant. He moves inside and he breaks outside on Thomas, the defensive back, wide open for the touchdown.
Mike, if you're wondering where Mrs. Bowden's loyalties lie, listen to this. Well, to her left, that's Sue Hall. That is Bobby Bowden's longtime administrative assistant. Winky. He's under pressure, runs up into the pocket, and he's got to be hit by Holliman.
Ron, the best story I heard this week, all the Bowden stories this week about Tommy Bowden when he was going to West Virginia and he came upon the students. His dad was hung in effigy, and he started up to get the dummy, and somebody said, "You can't, who are you?" And he said, "I'm his son." And he said, "You can't take it down." He said, "No, I'm going to add some filler." He said, "He's fatter than you got him there."
But it was Tommy who went into the crowd. He was going to get that thing torn down. As the pass goes to Morgan, it is incomplete. Interesting that, as Adrian said off the top of the telecast, that in the 6th grade he wrote a paper saying that he wanted to be a head coach. And also, his mom let him know she wanted him to be a dentist.
Well, he's pulling teeth tonight.
3 of 7 on 3rd down conversions for Florida State. Winky tipped and almost intercepted by Polite.
Well, Reggie Herring's been the story in this first half. His defense has played lights out on Florida State. Polite really almost had this interception on Peter Warrick.
He would have walked this one in.
Had a chance to intercept that pass.
Cottrell can kick it away, waiting for the snap at the 39-yard line, and Lawyer the defense. Remember, the last time Florida State punted, they did not have a return person there. They had 11 men at the line of scrimmage. This time they had the return on. And Lawyer runs away from it as it goes into the end zone, and it'll come out to the 20. Brian Kenny, let's check with you following that 45-yard punt.
Ron, Bowl Championship Series rankings come out on Monday. Nebraska was slated to be in the #2 spot behind Florida State, but Major Applewhite changing things here, gets it to Mike Jones in the 4th quarter. Texas over Nebraska 24-20. And again, Penn State surviving Drew Brees 31-25. LeVar Arrington had a touchdown and blocked a field goal. Ron?
Well, congratulations to Mac Brown and his kids. What a huge win.
That's a big win for Mac. And, you know, Tennessee's going to move up, too. And then there's still Florida with one loss.
Well, they fake the shovel pass, got him wide open, and that's Lawyer. Hit and knocked down as Riddles came from behind when he had to slow down. 49 yards, but what a well-designed play.
Ron, good block by Justin Watts, but Rich Rodriguez, in calling this game for Tommy Bowden, with Tommy Bowden, is doing a very good job. Now Lawyer wide open on the outside. Again, formation problems for Florida State. They're breaking some assignments.
This is Zachary. He is going to be stopped for no gain at the line of scrimmage. Gibson is there to make the tackle. Interesting with the pass, it looked as though they were going to throw the shovel pass of the Utah pass back into the line of scrimmage, and that kind of locked everybody up for a moment, and all of a sudden, boy, he looked like the first guy out to the workout.
Without a doubt. You know, Terry Bowden's watching tonight, doing a nice job with ABC. Saw him in a couple interviews with his dad and his brothers.
2nd down and 10, and here's the quarterback draw, and Dantzler gets what he can. It's Corey Simon there to make the tackle. And Coach Bowden over on the sideline, as you can see, visiting with Pete Warwick.
Yeah, I go back again, Ron. This week has been an up-and-down week for this Florida State football team. A lot of attention on this young man, and it causes sometimes a loss of focus.
Was LeMay, number 89, who came on late, redshirt freshman tight end from Black Mountain, North Carolina. Better hurry. He didn't get it off. Or did he get the timeout called? Yep. It appears as though they got, well, now the officials are discussing. And there is a timeout without a delay of game, so we'll take it with them. 7-3 Clemson.
There's a lot of history behind ACC football, but you haven't seen anything yet.
Hi, I'm Winston Scott, and I've got a secret. It's nestled among rolling hills and towering pines, where Gothic archways for nearly a century and a half have welcomed young minds. It's where the spirit of service is measured against the spirit of history's heroes, and graduates go on to become governors, stars of Broadway, and even star-walking astronauts. This is Florida State University, my secret to success.
In 1959 began the illustrious head coaching career of Bobby Bowden. While stalking the sidelines of his alma mater, Bowden led Howard College to a 14-0 victory over Marysville for his first career head coaching win. Well, the situation tonight, Clemson, a heavy underdog, up 7-3. Dantzler pass. Gardner again on that quick slant, on the quick post. But I'll tell you, they've got a first down just outside the 10-yard line. And again, Dantzler took quite a shot.
That's what I was going to say, Ron. He's hurt. He took a shot from the linebacker, Bobby Rhodes, number 49. And he's going to have to come out of the ball game, and Willie Simmons is going to have to go in. Willie Simmons is a freshman. They were hoping to redshirt him.
So this goes back to what we talked about just earlier on in the second quarter. that in this offense, as you look at Streeter, who was injured, what, about 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, I guess. Brandon suffered a broken collarbone. That was in that first quarter against North Carolina. He's going to be out for the rest of the year. And as Mike said, Willie Simmons, the guy that they wanted to redshirt. But as we talked about, Dantzler, in this offense, you get hit a lot, and that's just something that can't be profitable against a team like Florida State.
No, and they like Willie Simmons, but he has not been in the ball game. They said it's going to be a great fight in spring football for the quarterback job, so they feel very strongly about him. But Dantzler took a big hit from Bobby Rhodes.
You notice that not just the trainer was out there, that Tommy himself went out to take a look at his quarterback, hoping that it is only the wind that he has had knocked out of him and that it is not a shoulder or a collarbone or something like that.
They drove his helmet
into the sternum. Yep.
Ron, just the way Clemson has reacted this entire ball game, they came into this game believing they could win this football game. There's no doubt about it. You talked about it being a heavy underdog. From the time this game started, they were prepared by this man and his staff that they could win this football game. They could upset Florida State tonight.
So the situation with the injury, now Clemson has used a timeout. Each team has one remaining with 3:33 left until halftime. And the seriousness of this is the ball is just outside the 12-yard line with the first down, and you certainly don't want to waste a down in this situation. You got to get some kind of points, preferably if you're a Clemson fan or a coach, you want a touchdown.
Well, and they took a timeout to settle everything down, talk with this is a good timeout right here. They still have one left.
But coming up tomorrow on ESPN at 3 o'clock Eastern, the Major League Soccer playoff continues as the LA Galaxy look to avoid elimination in their best-of-3 series against Colorado. The Rapids blanked the Galaxy at game number 1, 3-0, which extended LA's scoreless streak to 589 consecutive minutes. And for more, log on to ESPN.com, part of the Go Network, go.com.
Ron, by taking a timeout, they're going to put Dantzler back in and save the red shirt on Willie Simmons.
Quickly, let's check in with Adrian Karsten. Adrian.
Big hit to the sternum, just knocked the wind out of him, Ron. He's ready to go.
Okay, that's good news for Clemson fans. And you see exactly what's happening as they go with Zachary, and he's retreating. You better get down, son. You can't afford to lose 10. Zachary goes down, and Reynolds is there to make the tackle.
Zachary was suspended, Ron, did not play in the Marshall game. Averages 4 yards rushing. He's a good receiver out of the backfield.
Second and 15 for the Tigers from the 17.
Lawyer comes back in at wide receiver. He is the second man at the bottom of your screen, the wide receiver. As you look at the numbers, and Clemson with the extremely profitable second quarter. Running play to Zachary, has 5, has 10, still on his feet, and he's down to the 4-yard line. Tripped up by Sean Key.
Taking advantage of that upfield rush by Seymour, Simon, and Reynolds, and Jerry Johnson trying to get to Woodrow Dantzler. They hit the draw trap inside of him.
Mike, Akeel Smith, who is their most consistent offensive lineman, number 61, was shaken up on the play, but he did not come out. He stayed in. He's the left tackle. Pitch goes to Zachary behind the blockers at the 2, at the 1. Touchdown, Clemson. Nope, they're going to say he is stopped at the 1-foot line.
Bradley Jennings made the tackle. Be a first down.
Clemson quickly back to the line of scrimmage. It is a first down and goal. Quarterback sneak with Dantzler, and the arms go up. Touchdown, Tigers. Behind the block of Kyle Young, the sophomore center. And this crowd is standing and going a little crazy. You can't blame them.
No, Ron, they're crisp. Everything they're doing on offense and defense, they just show so much quickness.
Tony Lazzara kicked right down the pipe. A flag is down, and now another flag.
The kicker.
So a 5-yard penalty for running into the kicker.
The important thing now for Clemson, though, is to shut down Florida State. 209, Florida State, with the weapons they have, can take the ball the length of the field.
And the smart play by Tommy Bowden was to call the timeout so he would not have to put the freshman in, and he could put the injured player back in the ballgame. Let's check in with Brian Kenny. Brian.
Well, Ron, coming up on our halftime report, we got the shake-up at the top. That's Texas and Nebraska. We'll be talking about that game. Huge comeback for the Hurricanes against Boston College, and we'll also have the latest on Game 1 of the World Series. That's coming up on the Buick halftime report. Rod Gilmore will join me then. Ron?
All righty. Ron Franklin, Mike Gottfried, and Adrian Carson coming to you from Clemson. And I think most people looked for close early and then for this thing to maybe turn into a runaway, and it has been anything but that.
This is a big 2:09 on the clock, though, that Clemson's got to do. Got to be smart on special teams here, kicking the ball off, and take advantage and not allow Florida State to get on the board here.
Stringer along with Bolden, the two deep men for Florida State.
Bolden's already had a good return.
Here comes Lazzara. Back to the 4-yard line is Stringer. And tripped up as he crosses the 20 to the 21. Well, coming up next Saturday on ESPN Game Day at 11 Eastern, and at noon for the Big Ten, Heisman candidate Drew Brees at 17th ranked Purdue takes on number 25 Minnesota. Then in prime time for the ACC, number 1 ranked Florida State heads to Charlottesville to meet Virginia. For more, log on to ESPN.com, part of the Go Network, go.com. 9 of 19 from 90 yards for Winky. And here's the running play of very short yardage as Keith Adams again trips up Travis Minor. Carswell comes up also to help out on the tackle.
Ron, Florida State has one timeout to work with here before the half.
Second down and 10. They give him nothing on that last play from the 22. Winky pulls down the pass and now throws it. He's beyond the line of scrimmage, and that ball is incomplete. And here's the flag for an illegal forward pass. He was beyond the line of scrimmage. That'll be loss of down.
And that's what you want to do to Chris Winky. You want to get him moving. You want to move it, flush him out of the pocket and make him throw on the run.
Five yards is the penalty. It's a loss of down. So it should be 3rd down and 15.
So if an illegal forward pass on the offense, that's 5 yards from the start of the foul. Also, we have a loss of down.
3rd down and 15. You know, Mike, if I'm Coach Bobby Bowden, I don't think I'd get reckless on this play. You certainly don't want to surrender more points here before halftime.
No, but I think they'll chunk it downfield here.
Eric Thomas, the center, before he goes over the ball, counting, pointed out blocking assignments for the interior guys. Winky right over the middle and overthrown, incomplete. Morgan, it almost looked as though that ball went through his hand.
Well, almost looked like he lost it somehow. But now Clemson's got 1:23 to work with and timeout. Here's the throw. Robert Morgan. Yeah, he should have had that football.
Lawyer, the deep man, 4th punt of the night for this young fella. Joe waiting for the snap back at his own 3-yard line. Clemson's got a return on, so it's a line drive spiral. Very long but returnable from the 30. 40, 45, and Lawyer will go down just short of midfield. That's a 62-yard punt, but 19 on the return, and Gibson finally tripped him up.
Ron, you talk about Clemson's offense. Tommy Bowden's known for his offense. Rich Rodriguez, one of the top guys in the country. Brad Scott also was Florida State's offensive coordinator for many years. So they've got a lot of good minds on that offensive staff.
Clemson quickly back to the line of scrimmage, which is the 48-yard line, and they have 1:11 to work with. Dantzler going to go long up the sideline, and that was well overthrown. Actually, Gardner had been forced out of bounds.
Yeah, nice job by Tate Cody, number 27. He rolled him right out of bounds.
Pass intended for number 23. 2nd and 10 for the Tigers.
Florida State in shock in this first half. They've been outplayed.
(14-3), the Clemson Tigers lead it. That last play only took 4 seconds. And if you wonder why a delay has not come up, they settle at the line of scrimmage so quickly. They have all the time in the world to do this sort of thing, and that ball is intercepted, and that's Durden. Reggie Durden back to the 45-yard line, and now David Warren again with a great pass rush, and that's the last thing in the world that Tommy Bowden wanted.
Again, you want to get out of this first half 14-3. Ahead 11, go to the locker room with the momentum. Now Florida State has a chance. David Warren again with a pressure on Dantzler. Got him thrown off balance, backing up.
And of all the secondaries in the world, you don't want to throw a floater into.
Too much speed in the secondary. Now Chris Winkie has to make Woodrow Dantzler pay for that mistake.
And Clemson avoid one here. A huge turnover in great field position for the Seminoles. Swings it out, and that's the fullback Kendra, and Kendra will be stopped at the 45-yard line, and actually that's back to the line of scrimmage. Bodrick makes the tackle on him.
And they'll let him have that throw, Ron, to Dan Kendra, who's 6'2", a former quarterback. It's moved to fullback.
Winkie with a deep drop this time. Good protection, and the ball almost intercepted by Carswell. Oh, my goodness. And Robert is saying, what if? 25 ticks showing on the clock.
Well, when he looks at that tape bar, he's going to say, how did I not intercept the football? Thrown right to me. All I needed to be is a receiver, but he's looked like he lost his footing.
You know what? It went through his hands and it bounced off his face mask. 3rd down. Winkie's pass is caught by Warwick at the 40, and then he does what he does best, and that's in the open field. 5 more yards before Polite makes the tackle, and now that will move the chains, and 17 seconds left.
Yeah, now, Ron, he showed a lot of explosion, Peter Warwick, on that play. He got Polite really off of him.
Florida State took the snap, and you could see what happened on the field of play. McNeil was coming in as a substitute. The umpire was coming back after spotting the ball, and they collided, but the ball was thrown into the ground to stop the clock.
Here's the route by Peter Warwick. He just drives down the field and drives Dexter Polite off the ball, then comes back, makes the catch, and picks up a couple extra yards. Good route. Florida State still with 1 timeout.
You know, they were going to the chain gang to make sure they had first down up there. It is 2nd down and 10 after the ball was thrown to the ground to stop the clock at 15 ticks. 36 yards away. Clemson 14, Florida State 3. Swings this one out to Dell, and he will be knocked out of bounds with 7 seconds left by Bodrick. And they have him just inside the 30-yard line.
I want to take one shot for the end zone here, Ron, and then if you can't get it, call on number 38, Sebastian Janikowski, to try to put some points on the board, at least a little momentum swing to go to the locker room with.
Winky, he's going into the end zone for this one, and it is intercepted by Polite. And as they head to the locker room, the folks wearing orange are standing, and they are cheering, and for very good reason.
Ron, that's the last thing you wanted, though. You wanted a pick here. Peter Ward didn't look like he was able to come back to the football. Polite with the interception.
And let's go to the sideline and Adrian Karsten. Adrian?
Coach, Bobby, your son was the first one to reach into the bag of tricks and now has this team up.
Yeah, they're kicking us around real good. They're out fighting us and they're out hustling us. Now, we've been in this situation before. We got 30 more minutes to come out here and change this thing around and we're going to get beat. We're not throwing well, we're not catching well, we're not blocking well. We'll get beat if we don't get better.
Looks like a lot of confusion, especially on defense. The pace at which Clemson is running their offense, you had to take 2 timeouts down inside of scoring territory.
That's the way their offense is put together. If you don't get it straightened out with a timeout, they're going to get a cheaping, which is what they did. So, yeah, they put the pressure on you, no doubt about it.
Good luck in the second half, Coach. We'll see you then. Ron?
Okay, Adrian, thanks very much. And it is halftime, and you're not reading this one wrong. It is Clemson, the heavy underdog, 14. Florida State 3. Now with the Buick halftime report, here's Brian Kenny and Rodney Gilmore. Gentlemen.
All right, Ron, thank you very much. Now, we saw pretty much the same sort of scenario with Louisiana Tech. First game of the year was right here on ESPN. This, though, seems a little bit different, and now that's surprising. You don't even get 3 points out of that, Rod.
Well, it's different because of Tommy Bowden. You know, you think what he's doing out there. You see why Bobby Bowden was concerned. Tommy knows the offense, and you can see that with the Clemson defense. They know the tendencies. They know when to double the correct receiver and the like and cause problems for Florida State. So that's a real problem for them. Tommy Bowden's won the first half. Good deal.
And he's got them loose. You can see how loose they are. And Peter Warwick a little tight, still 6 catches, 72 yards. He is Peter Warwick. We're taking a break here on the Buick Halftime Report. Coming up, Penn State, LeVar Arrington trying to chase down Drew Brees. And Nebraska and Texas. To get in on that one, could Eric Crouch keep the Cornhuskers on Florida State's heels? Back right after this.
Who's at the center of online investing? The engine driving the revolution? The power behind the boom? Knight, the world's leading market maker, where the trade gets done.
The World Wide Web. 40 million sites, 800 million pages, 60 billion words. And one search engine that prioritizes, categorizes, and organizes it into neat little folders. Northern Light, just what you've been searching for.
When you add up gas, maintenance, insurance, and financing, it comes out to about $8 a day to drive my Saturn. How hard can it be to save $8?
I may help you.
Yeah, can I get a number 3?
For an extra 50 cents, would you like cheese on that?
I think I'm gonna go cheese-free today.
For $1 more, would you like to try our Mega Tub?
I don't think so. Of course, your results may vary. You may like cheese more than I do.
Where do you find leading technology? Experienced traders, all working to help you get the best price. Knight, the world's leading market maker, where the trade gets done.
This halftime report is presented by the all-new 2000 LeSabre by Buick. Re-engineered to be safer than ever.
Well, welcome welcome back here. Who dares have a 2-game winning streak against Nebraska? Texas does. And Nebraska lineman Dominic Raiola says, I hate Texas. Texas A&M is a part of that, but Texas is the main reason. I hate Texas. I don't like that song either. We'll get to this one. When you hear the song, he also said last year it made him sick to see them celebrating on his field. This one on their field. And Eric Crouch, fourth quarter, 17-13, Nebraska trailing. Crouch is in the end zone. Huge part of the rejuvenated Nebraska attack. It's 20-17 Nebraska. Fourth quarter, Major Applewhite to Mike Jones. Applewhite 17 for 30, 213 yards. Texas, touchdown. Jones wouldn't go down, 24-20. Fourth quarter, Nebraska, 4th and 7. Final minutes, no. Crouch couldn't get it on the fourth down play. 24-20, Texas over Nebraska. Surprise, surprise. 3 lost fumbles, including one on the goal line in the fourth quarter for the Cornhuskers. Texas wins against Nebraska for the 3rd straight time. More now, Tennessee and Alabama, the other big showdown. This in the SEC. Andrews out of Sean Alexander. 26 yards. He's in for the touchdown. His only touchdown, but he'd run for 98 yards. 7-0 tied. Second quarter, Vols down 7-zip. Tennessee ball, T. Martin, bootleg, going around, and he gets nailed at the goal line. Reggie Miles, 7-7. But Martin had to leave the game, hurt his knee there, left the game for a while. A little warm-up, get a little aerobic work on the sidelines. Rob, at third quarter, he's back in. Tennessee ball, T. Martin, up in the air. How did he get rid of that ball? He got nailed on that play, got it to David Martin. T. Martin, 49 yards rushing, 147 yards passing, and Tennessee beats Alabama 21-7. Sean Alexander, 148 all-purpose yards. It's the first game against Tennessee in Tuscaloosa since 1930. And Penn State and Purdue. LeVar Arrington said, where's this guy I've heard so much about, this Drew Brees fella? Coming after him, and look out, Drew! Oh, down he goes, LeVar. Bringing that ball in and bringing it in for a touchdown. 7-7. And Purdue is up to a 7-0 lead. Looking sharp here, 21-14. Courtney Brown picked off on Drew Brees. Brees, though, had to start out 31 for 48, 380 yards on a great defense, and he's not done. 31-25. They had 4 shots at a win against Penn State. That won't go for Chris Daniels. Drew Brees goes down swinging, 31-25. LeVar Arrington, 5 tackles, 1 forced fumble, 1 touchdown, 2 sacks, 1 blocked field goal. Purdue only 2 home losses under Joe Tiller, both to Penn State. Wow. So, Rodney, now bowl championship series rankings come out on Monday. New order here because Nebraska was slated to be number 2. No matter where they are in the polls, in the BCS rankings, they would have been number 2. They move down now. Going to be a little shake-up at the top here come Monday.
Yeah, absolutely. You figure that Nebraska falls behind all the teams with losses now, so they're not going to be in the national championship race. But now, what happens with Virginia Tech and Penn State? Interesting race. When the polls come out, Virginia Tech will probably move up to number 3 behind Penn State and Florida State, assuming Florida State wins. But for the Bowl Championship Series standings, reverse it. It's likely to be Virginia Tech at number 2 ahead of Penn State. But don't get too excited, you Hokie fans, because remember, another factor is the strength of schedule. And as the season progresses, the Virginia Tech...
14-3, Clemson leads it, and let's go down to the sideline and Adrian Karsten. Adrian?
Ron, there are football fans throughout the stadium claiming that Rocky Balboa here next to me doesn't realize that this is not supposed to be anything more than just an exhibition fight. Tommy, you're 30 minutes away from beating your dad.
Well, our offense is similar to theirs. It's one of skill guys making plays. We've made some, and they're close, and that's what concerns you.
Against the #1 team in the nation, much less your father. What do you have to do to win this game in 30 minutes?
He told me. He said lose close. I thought he said win close. That's what we're going to try to do.
So much for miscommunication, Ron.
Okay, Adrian. Mike Gottfried, go figure. I mean, I don't think anybody would have bought this storyline, not even Disney.
No, but I'll tell you what Clemson's done. They've played with their feet off the ground, and they're not allowing any big plays at Florida State. Keeping everything in front of them, not allowing a big home run, playing good defense. They're aggressive, and they're forcing Chris Weinke to move. And when he moves, he's not as good a quarterback.
Janikowski set to get us underway for this second 30 minutes of play. Now, to show you what has happened with the wind, there was wind, we showed you, 10 to 15 miles an hour at the beginning of this football game. Mike, I think it has increased some, and I think it could have a bearing on the throwing in the second half.
And it's going to be a big kickoff here by Janikowski, and he doesn't hit it in the air.
It's a line drive, and it's gone to Wofford. And Wofford knocked off his feet at the 25-yard line. Well, what do you see in these numbers in the first half here?
Well, everything's pretty well even, but Florida State, I guess the big figure that jumps out to me is only 27 yards rushing the football. Travis Minor has not been a big factor in this football game. Matter of fact, except for a couple runs where he gained about 9 yards, he's not been a factor.
So Chris Winkie, as the defense starts it out for Florida State in the second half, putting the warm-up on across the way. And this is Zachary, who will take it across the 25 for a couple. Reynolds and Polly combining on the stop for the Seminoles.
Well, they're playing for their championship hopes the second half, because I'm sure Bobby Bowden reminded him at halftime, you know, we need to win this football game because there's too many good football teams. We can't afford to lose a game this year and expect to get back in the championship game like they did last year.
Florida State with a four-man rush, and Dantzler, boy, there's no place to go. Riddles and Seymour, the two guys on the outside, collapse on him. And now a very big third down, because the other thing that this increase in the wind is going to do is Clemson, if they don't pick up the first down here, they've got to kick it into the teeth of that wind that is howling pretty good here at the stadium right now. Line to make is the 34. Dantzler rolls the pocket, going to have to hurry on this one, and his pass is underthrown and incomplete. Crowd wanted a pass interference. Wofford, the intended receiver, and there will be none.
Well, Reggie Durden just took off and dove, but the ball wasn't even close. Ball would have been close. He might have got the interference call.
Jerry Johnson was the man with the pressure on Dantzler, making him give it up a little quicker than he had wanted. And in two punts, this is his third. Look at those numbers right there, an average of 53.5.
Florida State's good in the special teams. They can turn this game around with a big play.
Durden, the deep man for the Seminoles, and they came after him, didn't get it. But a wobbly kick as a flag is down. And now takes a Clemson bounce inside the 35 to the 34. But let's check the marker on the near side of the field at the line of scrimmage.
Where that's at, Ron, it's usually offside, and they had 6 yards to go for a first down. Unless he saw movement on the end of the line by Clemson. Now you measure and see if you do pick up the first down, but Tommy Bowden's going to turn it down.
On the defense, the penalty is refused. First down.
That wind, a factor in him turning that penalty down.
It was not a good kick, but the wind knocked it down as well. As you look at the numbers on Winkie, and Mike, let's talk about game plan.
Yeah,
what does this ball club here have to do to
They gotta protect, Ron. They can't get Winkie moving around. Clemson's defense is forcing. And when you force a quarterback this big moving around, he's not as good throwing the football when he's moving around. And they're making sure they make contact on him.
Live action. They try to set up the screen, and they got it, and he misfires to Travis Minor. And Travis looks back and says, oh, we had the convoy out here.
I thought we'd see some screens early in the ball game from Florida State, but to slow down the outside pressure of Clemson.
Second and 10, 34.
High formation, right up the middle. Travis Minor, there's not much there, and it's going to be third down for the Seminoles. Let's check with Adrian Karsten. Adrian?
Not interesting development. I am told by a member of the medical staff of Florida State that early this morning, most, if not all, members of the offensive line for Florida State began showing signs of the flu. They got worse at halftime. A fatigued offensive line, a fatigued defensive line because of the way and the pace Clemson runs that offense. Fatigue leads to mistakes, Ron.
Well, as we mentioned, Jason Whitaker, normally the starter at right guard, ill and unable to start tonight. And that pass complete to Warren. And a flag is down, and that could be for roughing the passer. Jolly gave quite a shot to Winkie, and what a mistake.
Yeah, you put an asterisk by that play because they didn't get the first down on the pass. You cannot wake up a sleeping dog.
Look at Tommy Bowden is all over him, and that's twice tonight that he has gotten a 15-yard penalty for a hit on the quarterback.
They kept Peter Warwick in charge. They've not given him any big plays. That was not a smart play.
Boy, 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 boy. You can't blame the young coach and the player trying to give it his all. As I mentioned, he is a captain, but that's twice tonight.
Yeah, but you got to be smarter than what he did.
Yeah, that was a very late hit. 1st and 10, Winky. They swing the ball out to Minor. Minor, 40, 35, and then close to the first down. And let's check in again with Brian Kenny. Brian?
Ron, we check in with Mississippi State and LSU, and Mississippi State looking to go 7-0 for the first time in its history here. 4th down and inches on the LSU 11. Justin Griffin just does get it, and then 4th down and goal. Rod Gibson, Mississippi State gets that. They went for 2. Were not able to convert, but 17-16. Bulldogs up on top. Ron?
Well, the Tigers have had their problems. That would have been a huge win if they were able to pull it off. As Minor tackled by Bush, Jovan Bush, a sophomore out of Hardy, South Carolina.
Well, you see Mark Rick coming out in the second half trying to get Travis Minor more involved in the offense. They threw him the flare outside. They gave him the ball on a couple runs, so he's more active in the second half. He's open on the flares.
First and 10, Seminoles. The ball at the 31-yard line. Winky's pass to Warwick is complete, almost as though they were trying to set up completion and lateral.
Well, they had, again, that's the same pattern where Travis Minor loops out of the backfield. He's open every time, but Peter Warwick was open on the curl. Peter Warwick, this first half, every catch he's made, they've not allowed him to get away. Even when he makes the catch right away, there's Clemson defenders to make the tackle. They have not allowed the big play to Florida State's offense in the first half.
2nd down and a couple. That's Dugans in motion. And hit in the backfield is Minor and knocked down for a loss. And that's McNeil, number 91, a redshirt freshman out of Swansea, South Carolina.
I guess it's 2-down territory for Florida State, the way they've been going on offense.
Bolden comes into the lineup, number 4. You could look for most anything when he's in there, even to the point of going under and taking a snap. There's Jolly, and as you can see, he is not in the lineup. He's normally a starter.
Well, they're confused. They ought to take a time out here. They're going to get a substitution penalty here. They were confused from the start here.
Well, prior to the snap, illegal substitution on the offense.
Well, instead of 3rd down and 4, now it's going to be 3rd down and 9. And to complete the thought on Jolly, in case you missed it, his second 15-yard penalty for rumping the passer, and that's the reason he's on the bench right now.
Well, there's a lot of fans hoping they stop Florida State, but none more than he is. He wants this defense to rise to the occasion here.
Well, I mean, on that last play, they missed the block.
And Bowden looking on as here comes Winky and company, and that
25-second clock
down
moving.
to 13, down to 12. Now he hollers to the wide receivers, and that message being conveyed by Marvin Minnis. 5 seconds, down to 4. And he just got that off. And maybe he did not get it off. A flag is down.
I think they're going to back him up 5 more yards. I think they had 2 people moving at the same time. Illegal procedure. They had about everything again. A lot of conferences tonight.
It's good in Geneva.
Replay doesn't take this long.
Well, I thought what you said was right. The fact that they had 2 people moving at the same time, we could clearly see they got the snap off, I thought.
Prior to the snap, illegal substitution on the offense. It's a 5-yard penalty.
What happened to Ron, the referee made the ball in play quicker than Florida State thought on the sideline, and the 25-second clock moved.
Yeah, but they got them for substitution.
Yeah.
And Bobby thought because out of the timeout that wouldn't be the case. All right, we're set to go. 3rd down and 14. They scrimmage from the 35. They need to take it to the 21 as Winky steps up, and he's got Warwick right there. A stiff arm, and he'll have the Florida State first down inside the 20 as Polite made the stop.
They picked up the first down after the catch. Polite's done a nice job on him this evening, keeping everything in front of him. Drives him off. Good move. Comes back to the football. Now you got to make the tackle, but he allows him to get to the first down marker.
14-3. Clemson trying to pull off the upset. Florida State driving, benefited by a roughing the passer penalty when Clemson had in fact stopped them on 3rd down. And Carson will step up into the hole to make the tackle on Minor on that play as Jolly is back in the ballgame. And reiterating what Mike said, nobody on the field wants to stop this drive or see it stopped anymore than that young man, having picked up 2 roughing the passer penalties in this ballgame.
See if they try to go to Travis Minor again, flaring out of the backfield.
That's Menace in motion. 10th play of the drive. They make it to Menace. Now they throw it over the middle, and boy, it's a good thing he threw that one short. In fact, I think he threw it away. He saw double coverage.
He has not set his feet most of the evening. He's been dancing around and throwing off balance. And, a lot has to do with the pressure that is coming from Clemson's defense, but you don't see him set. And he's moving back, throwing with all arm. See, I think right there you can see there's 3 people on Peter Warwick.
16 of 31 for Winky. 158 yards, 1 interception. That one right at the end of the first half. And he's got 3rd down. Delivers it. Incomplete, in and out of the hands of Warwick.
Sometimes you can try to get the ball too much to one guy. We saw that graphic early on in the broadcast where they actually had better yardage when they had Peter Warwick off and it was not playing. And now all of a sudden they're trying to get the ball to Peter Warwick. Probably too much.
Janikowski to attempt this field goal, and he is 1 of 2 tonight. Made one from 33, missed from 45. 60 of 74 coming into this one tonight. But this, a 33-yard attempt from the far hash mark. And he nails it. And you can see how far he can kick it. Let's take a break. New score, 14-6 Clemson, 9:21 left, 3rd quarter.
Sunday NFL Countdown at 11 a.m. on ESPN.
multi-valve V6 and the agility of a four-wheel independent suspension.
I didn't know Davis could move like that.
I told him to think of himself as something powerful and agile.
I wonder what he was thinking.
I like to think of myself as an innovator who started a company, Dell Computer, around an idea that everybody should be doing business directly with one another, one-to-one, with no barriers. To me, that's the power of the internet. We'd like to show you how to empower your business in ways you've never imagined. I'm Michael Dell, and it's our reason for being. Be direct.
Dell. Dell servers use Intel Pentium 3 processors.
ESPN's presentation of primetime college football is brought to you by Chrysler, engineered to be great cars, and by Dell Computer, pioneering direct internet ideas for your business. Be direct. Dell. Part of the overflow crowd tonight. I think they were expecting, I think, upwards of 86, maybe even 87,000 people for this ball game. Certainly no one has left, and certainly those wearing orange this evening are still terribly excited. This kick by Janikowski is going to go 7 yards deep, and again, he will bring it out to the 20-yard line. Let's check in with Adrian Karsten. Adrian?
Ron, in my ongoing conversation with Ann Bowden tonight, moments ago I heard for the first time, we aren't looking very good. That obviously means you and Bobby. What's your read of the situation right now?
Well, I mean, our team's not executing very well. Tommy's team is, they're all hyped, and they're highly motivated, and they're playing great. I knew they would be. I mean, I knew they'd play great. I knew they'd play, but I thought we would play a little better than we're playing.
Still 9:14 left to go in the third quarter. Plenty of time for the #1 team in the nation. You mentioned earlier you might pull out a Clemson flag. Is it time to do that just yet or not?
What's that now? Pull out what?
A Clemson flag, potentially?
Well, I don't know. We've got to turn this thing around real quick. We've got to score. You know, we've got to score. We've got to hold them. Our defense is going to have to hold them, and our defense may have to score for us here.
Ron, the last thing that Tommy asked me before I let him go back into the second half was, if I got to go up and see my mother, I want you to be my bodyguard.
Okay, Adrian. Adrian with Ann Bowden. Defensive holding is called against Florida State, and the penalty will move it to the 30. Obviously, that will be a first down. I think another thing that is very important, Mike, the long drives, keeping the defense on the field, and a sputtering Florida State offense on the sideline is another good strategy if Clemson can do it. Dantzler, blockers in front. You see him just push that blocker. T.J. Watkins was out front trying to block for him, and he had to push him to get him out of the way. Brian Kenny.
Ron, let's get you back to Mississippi State and LSU. Mississippi State up 17-16, looking to stay unbeaten. Josh Booty of LSU picked off Big Prather of Mississippi State there, but LSU gets it back. Last gasp, final second, literally. Josh Booty, no time left on the clock, airing out that arm, but it's not coming down. 17-16, LSU has lost 11 of 12 in the SEC.
Zachary with the carry, and he has almost 10 yards. I beg your pardon, almost 6 yards on this carry on the second down. As Jennings comes over to make the tackle, and now with the hurry-up offense again, Clemson looks at a third down and about 1 for the 39. They fake the pitch, and a great defense as Dantzler is wrapped up by Corey Simon, and it's the first time that they have sacked him tonight.
Almost looked like a busted play because the pitch was faked to the same way that Dantzler was going to go. May have got confused on that pitch. Good stop by Florida State's defense. Peter Warwick now back in, returning the punt.
Romano stands back at the 20-yard line to get this punt away. And Florida State with a return, and again, they kick it away from the Seminoles, and this one just dives. It hit right into the turf at the 35 and backed up a couple of yards. So let's take a break. 14-6. Clemson continues to lead. We'll be right back.
State Farm presents Rules of the Game.
We're talking about possession of a catch. In this play, does any player have possession long enough to establish a catch?
This is a real mom-and-pop hardware store. I think we have a nice family feel. A couple of months ago, we got a little bump in our car. Oh, we've been our State Farm agent for 26 years. Because I think he puts his personal self into it. Just like we do at the hardware store, he actually listens to what your needs are. It makes me feel pretty important.
Get to know your State Farm agent.
You can't put a price on a good relationship.
We're talking about possession of a catch. In this play, the player who possesses the ball does not hold it long enough to establish a catch. This should be ruled an incomplete pass.
Rules of the Game has been brought to you by State Farm. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Mom, Dad, a 37-year-old that lives at home should pay rent.
It's great, Mark.
But I want airline miles. Or points.
I don't understand.
My rent would earn me airline miles. And with points, I could upgrade to, like, grandma's room.
Like a rewards program.
Whatever.
Yeah, what does this look like, a Holiday Inn?
More ways to collect and redeem points than any other hotel program. That's today's Holiday Inn.
Can the Utes contain the hungry Rams? Utah, Colorado State at 8, Thursday on ESPN.
Welcome back to Clemson, 14-6. The Tigers leading, 7:28 left, third quarter.
I almost feel like Florida State's getting this game in their control, in their grasp. Now they kick a field goal. Now they're down by 8, and their defense stops Clemson. They give good field position, so let's see what Wanky can do with it.
Wanky with the play action, gets it out, incomplete. Dugans couldn't hold on.
There's a nice job by Alex Ardley. Now, number 28, he stayed right with Dugans. Dugans didn't practice Tuesday or Wednesday because he hurt his chest in the last game diving for a football. But Ardley's right on top of Dugans.
Second and 10, number 36 yards.
Reggie Herring trying quickly to get some last-minute signals into the defense. And here goes the running play, and Minor rattled off close to 10 yards as he is out to the 44, and Carswell from that safety position comes up to make the tackle. Credit Dan Kendra with an outstanding block on the play.
Yeah, I just feel like Florida State's going to win this football game. Travis Minor has got to be the guy to get the ball in his hands a little bit more here in the third and fourth quarter. Run for 64 yards. He's been open coming out of the backfield.
Now the cat and mouse game really picks up as Florida State going with the no huddle, trying to get Clemson confused, and this pass is good to Dugans, and still on his feet, and almost broke it at the 32-yard line.
Now, Ron, that was a good play call by Mark Richt because the pressure that has come, but then all of a sudden you sprint out, Chris Wanky, to the left side. You get good protection. You get a seal block, and then Dugans clear out by Peter Warwick, and you get Dugans break into the corner. Nice play called DeMarco Fox on coverage.
3 catches for 33 yards for Dugans. That one for 24. About to go under 6 minutes left in the third quarter. And Minor, short yardage, maybe to the 30. Jason Holloman, junior out of Decatur, Georgia, is there to make the tackle.
Again, that slows down the blitz. That opens the passing game. I like the mix a little bit more in the second half than the first half. I think that they're running the ball a little bit better right now at this point in the ball game, and Minor's become more of a factor.
By the way, Reggie Herring just got 4 fresh new down linemen, defensive linemen in the ball game. Winky's pass well overthrown. Warwick, the intended receiver, and I'll tell you, Winky got knocked hard to the turf again. I beg your pardon. That is
on the lineman.
Was it Whitaker? Carlos Thomas went down.
Yeah, and remember what Adrian said about the offensive line has the flu, so that may have affected Carlos Thomas.
Carlos, 6'5", 320, goes to the sideline, and Sharon Dorsey, 6'7", 325, a junior out of Jacksonville, comes in replacing him. You saw the numbers on third down conversions. They need to take it to the 22-yard line of Clemson. Here comes the blitz off the corner, and it is too tall for Morgan. And I'll tell you, this is going to be a sizable field goal attempt right here. Now, Janikowski certainly has the leg, but he's been a little shaky tonight.
Yeah, Ron, they had that play. They had what they wanted to Robert Morgan. Just run the stop route at the sticks. Just threw it too high. That should have been caught up.
How did he rifle arm that thing?
47-yard attempt from the far hash mark. Good pass, and he's going to be wide left for the second time tonight. Let's take a break. 5:36 left, third quarter. Clemson looking for the upset over #1 Florida State. And they...
At Kimball Ford Mercury in Cedartown, we're Y2K ready. With 2,000 models arriving daily and with our guarantee of quality, service, and low prices, you'll have no worries here. When you buy from Kimball, you can rest assured you've made the best deal. So gear up for the millennium and make the short drive to Kimball Ford Mercury, your hometown dealership, serving the Floyd and Polk County area this century and the next. Kimball, conveniently located on South Main Street in Cedartown. Come prepared to save. Remember, at Kimball Ford Mercury in Cedartown, we do business one way, the right way.
What's up with that? I'll tell you what's up with that. At the Auto Super Center, we have 30-plus used cars at or below $99.99.
It's hard not to get excited about Heritage Nissan's Auto Super Center's new nothing over $99.99 lot.
Talking about cheap, we have them as low as $29.99.
Hey, and the best part is we have no hassle prices on all of our vehicles.
Remember, at the Auto Super Center and the $99.99 lot, we're smashing high prices. Has anybody seen the Fat Man?
People think I live a pampered life, but I work hard to keep up my business. For example, no matter how late I was out the night before or how much I want to hit that snooze button, I always manage to wake up first thing in the morning and catch that 11 a.m. Sports Center.
Powering up, he got it. 3 homers in 3 days. Fernando's had a hit to start the season.
It's not easy, but it's all about commitment.
And we're back to live action. As you can see, the Tigers right there at the line of scrimmage. They want this hurry-up offense to get going. Dantzler, they fake for the inside shuttle back, running for his life, and he just throws this one away. Heavy pressure by Brian Allen. It's the same play that they threw complete going the other direction in toward the boundary last quarter.
Ron, I still like the way this game is going for Clemson offensively. What they do is they hurry up the line of scrimmage, they give you a formation, and then Dantzler looks over the sideline on coverage.
5:29 to play, third quarter. 8-point Clemson lead. Obviously inaudible at the line of scrimmage, but the play clock still is at 10 and now at 9. And he will move back to the shotgun. Flag, ball is tipped at the line of scrimmage. David Warren got a hand up. And Polly came over very close to making a pickoff.
That'll be movement on Clemson.
And that's going to be the call. 5 yards against the Tigers, and let's check with Brian Kenny.
Ron, the Sooners couldn't stop Max Brown from getting his 100th win last week for Texas. They're going to stop R.C. Slocum from getting his 100th win, though. In the air, Josh Heupel to Trent Smith, 41-6, Oklahoma over Texas A&M. Ron?
They throw it all over the lot. You see they still are in the third quarter. That thing may be going until midnight Central Time.
Declined the penalty. Third down.
So third down and 10, and they need to take it out to their own 41-yard line to keep this one going. There you see the blitz. Dantzler got a decision to make, and he broke the tackle, has 5 yards, still on his feet, and he has very close to 10. It depends on the spotting of the football, and from here it looks as though he's about a half-yard shy.
But Mickey Andrews doesn't like the tackling he's seeing tonight. David Warren missed a tackle. Is still short of the first down, Ron. So many missed tackles.
Quickly, the special teams are on the field. Florida State still getting folks on. Reggie Durden, the defense. And the punt, high-hanging spiral. Durden under it at the 16. Retreats to the open side of the field. And is going to be tackled as he crosses the 30-yard line. That's 44 yards on the kick and 16 on the return.
Reggie Dayton on the return.
1979. During his 4th season at Florida State, Bobby Bowden led the Seminoles into Blacksburg to take on Virginia Tech. The Garnet and Gold would escape with a 17-10 victory over the Hokies in what was career victory 100. Well, on the line tonight, we all know he is at 299, trying for number 300, but this one has been anything but easy. We still have 19 minutes and 32 seconds left in the ballgame, but Clemson has been outstanding so far. Winky's pass is caught, that's Warwick, and tackled immediately at the 40. DeMarco Fox is there defensively.
But his defense has now turned up the temperature a little bit on Clemson's offense. 3 and outs, and given the offense the football. Still think that Florida State has a good hold on this football game right now. Momentum's all in their favor.
Back to the near side to Dugans. Stiff arms at the 50 and then runs out of bounds. And it's Carswell, and they have thrown a flag on a bump out of bounds. And if it is at the end of the play.
And Tommy Bowden doesn't like this call because it was a little push. The crowd's not going to like it either. It's on Robert Carswell.
A good ball. Personal foul on the defense. 15 yards from the end of the run. Automatic first down.
Here's a play at the end, Ron. Ron Dugans makes the catch. Steps out of bounds, and there's the push.
Hey, fellas, there were harder hits on the intramural fraternity league field yesterday. Let them play. Nobody came here tonight to see guys in stripes. From the 31-yard line, Minor. Carswell comes up to make the tackle. Well, coming up on Wednesday, ESPN Classic, the season opener of Notre Dame's 1988 national title campaign. Lou Holtz, Rocket Ismail, Ricky Waters, and the Irish take it on Michigan Wolverines en route to their perfect 12-0 season. Wednesday at 9 Eastern. To order the ESPN Classic, dial 1-800-CLASSIC or call your local cable provider. Ron Franklin, Mike Gottfried, and Adrian Karsten coming to you from Clemson, South Carolina. Seminoles driving, about to go under 3 minutes left, third quarter, and then the pass incomplete. Warwick, the intended receiver, and DeMarco Fox with the cover on him again.
Ron, they have 2 on him. They also got some help with DeMarco Fox on Peter Warwick. Anytime Peter Warwick's the inside receiver, there's going to be 2 on him. A good defense.
Line to make the 22. 3rd down and 7. Winky's pass rifles it to Warwick at the 20-yard line. 1st and goal, Seminoles. Polite on the stop.
Well, Mark Rick says, you know, it was open before. I'm going to come right back to it. Same play, same curl route. Only this time a 1st down for Peter Warwick. Continue to go to him. You go to the best player you got.
$11 catches, 122 yards for Warwick. Here's Minor. Good block. 2nd good block. He'll turn it at the 15 and fights his way down to the 12-yard line. Fox and Ardley combining on the stop. But folks, number 23, 6'1", 190 pounds, out of Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Not huge in stature, but you give him the football in a big game in a tough situation like this, and don't be surprised if he runs right by big bodies, because
he's got to get the football, Ron.
It's exactly right.
He's the key to this offense.
A lot of heart with this young fella. They give it to Kendra, trying to cross up the Clemson defense, and the fullback will maybe. Nope, he's not going to have the 1st down, as they will spot it at the 10, about a half-yard short.
Reggie Herring, the defensive coordinator, his defense has played this game with great effort tonight. 65 points they gave up in the last 2 games. Tonight they've held Florida State without a touchdown to this point.
Marcus Outson, number 14, comes in at quarterback and takes a quarterback sneak, and he will have the first down at around the 8-yard line. Winky on the sideline receiving the play. And, of course, that's Jeff Bowden that is standing there talking to him. So Outson, who played in the championship game last year because of the injury to Chris Winky, comes in for the quarterback sneak. Winky right back into the lineup.
Outson's a pretty good size himself, 6'2", 220.
Well, Winky at 6'5", 240. They don't have any small quarterbacks. There's the man I'm talking about. Minor almost broke it for the touchdown. Fox saved it, and they're going to spot the football at the 3.
The second half has been more of a running half for Florida State. They've done a better job running the football.
Montre Holland, the big freshman out of Ore City, Texas, who got the start replacing the ill Jason Whitaker, is the person who was shaken up. And Jerry Carmichael, you see Jerry coming on. He's out of Summerville, South Carolina, a junior.
Ron, net yardage rushing in the first half was 27 yards. They've done a much better job in the second half running the football and slowing this Clemson defense down a little bit more. Key is Minor. Oregon State just letting UCLA have it.
Oregon and Oregon State both have really come on of late, haven't they?
Yes, they have.
Holland continues to be checked over by the medical staff down on the field, and obviously this is not a good sign with so many people there looking over him, and he has not been moved as yet. But it appears they are working with one of his legs. Florida State, some of the players on the sideline, as I mentioned, supposed to go into the 30s here tonight, and pretty windy. And those young men have not seen temperatures like this, certainly not this year, as Holland is being helped to his feet. And you can see it's his right leg. They're going to have to carry him off, and they may have to get some help from the bench, because Montre is a very large young fella at 6'3", 325. College football next Saturday on ESPN2 at noon Eastern from the Big Ten. Michigan at Indiana. Then at 7 o'clock, freshman quarterback Michael Vick leads undefeated and 4th-ranked Virginia Tech against the Pittsburgh Panthers. Back to live action. Second down and the ball about 3.5 yards away. At the 2, at the 1 is Minor, and Carson will stop him from taking it into the end zone.
Then the difference, Travis Minor in this third quarter. Said before, you can almost feel like Florida State has got this game right where they want it right now.
Clemson defenders bouncing around. You can see Robert Carswell, number 9, trying to get the crowd to make noise. There's the distance, third down, and just over a yard away from the touchdown. Left side, Travis Minor, touchdown Seminoles.
They got to go for 2 right here to try to tie it.
Kendra with the key block on the play. And now Winky comes over to ask the official, or to tell him where he wants the ball placed, and it looks as though he's asked for it right in the middle of the field.
They're going to bring in 5 wide receivers.
That's Bolden, who came in talking to him last.
Yeah, 4 wide receivers, keep Minor in the backfield.
trying to tie it at 14. Winky tries to run and then just has to tuck it away. Bryant with the tackle, and there's a flag down.
Delay a game.
Cross to the snap. Have delay of game on the offense.
It's not bad, though, because it gives them a little more room, and that play can wash that one away.
Mike, if they get the 2-point conversion, that's going to be 5 points that they got on second chances because it was they had delay of game on a field goal, and now this.
We're going to bring in Dan Kendra, get a little more protection for Winky on this play.
Janikowski's bouncing on the sideline. They're not going to use him, though. This is for a 2-point conversion. Winky right over the middle, got him open, and it's Kendra who they throw it to. We are tied at 14 with 10 seconds left in the third quarter.
Ron, that was a nice call because they had the fake of the isolation inside. Kendra was the receiver, got behind the linebacker. Winky put it right there, and Florida State back in this football game. Watch number 10, the fullback, just sneaks through. Nobody's going to pick him up right here. And he gets right behind number 43, Keith Adams, for the 2-point play. Now, this does a couple things, Ron. It puts more pressure on Clemson now. Now you're playing a different ball game now. You don't have the lead. The offense, 3 and out the last couple plays. They need an offensive series bad by Clemson.
I talked about just a few moments ago those long drives keeping the football away from the Florida State offense. And exactly right, in the third quarter, we have 10 ticks left on the clock, and so we head to the final period. And Miner's been a difference.
He has been the biggest difference. Now Woodrow Dantzler has to find a little bit of a play mix for himself. A little running game and a little short passing game that was successful in the first half.
Janikowski's kick. This one 10 yards deep, but again, no return. 5 seconds left, third quarter. Residents in College Game Night follows our game. Then at 11 Eastern, it's Sports Center with Kenny Mayne and Trey Wingo. And the stories we'll be looking at tonight. Glavin and No-No, Tyson against Norris, and Don Baylor to the Cubs. That and more tonight on Sports Center. For 20 years, your source of sports news and highlights. So the #1 team of the land has come back and tied this football game at 14 apiece. And it happened with 10 seconds left, third quarter. Dantzler sets in the pocket, going to run it. Trying to get out of harm's way. Gets one block, but cannot get away from Tate Cody. And then goes down, and that'll be the final play of the third quarter. That's the end of the quarter. So as we head to the final 15, it's Clemson 14 and Florida State 14. We'll be right back.
One name.
Name's Bond. James Bond.
One number. No equal.
A martini shaken, not stirred.
The James Bond 007 collection. Own them all on VHS and special edition DVD.
The garage is on the wrong side.
We got a problem on 36.
Mike, get over. Greg, get down. Jim, I need that cement truck.
Only the Nextel Business Network connects local companies with our digital two-way radio feature. So you can reach who you need faster.
It's perfect.
Now it's perfect.
Greg, we have a problem.
Nextel, how business gets done.
Now through October 31st, save $100 on our newest phones.
Hello? Server? Got it.
total participation, and this means everyone, all working to make sure you get the absolute best experience possible.
Mr. Thurber, you're all set.
Introducing 5-Star, a new approach to selling and servicing cars and trucks. And it's better. We'll prove it. Only where you see these signs.
Looking for something different from the same old, your search is over. Because we've got 2 incredible toaster sandwiches right here at Sonic. Our new buffalo chicken covered with tangy buffalo wing sauce, or our bacon cheeseburger smothered with hickory sauce, bacon, and smoked cheddar on big Texas toast. Both made fresh just for you. For a one-of-a-kind flavor like this, you know where to come.
Sonic America's driving.
For an extra kick, try our cheddar peppers this month for only 99 cents.
One name.
Name's Bond. James Bond.
One number. No equal.
A martini shaken but stirred.
The James Bond 007 collection. Own them all on VHS and special edition DVD.
And we are back. 15 minutes left in our football game. And the situation, 2nd down from the 25-yard line. Dantzler sets in the pocket, puts air under this one, and it is at the 50-yard line, and a flag comes down. Gardner makes the reception. Now are they going to call offensive pass interference?
I think they will call offensive pass interference on Rod Gardner. It's inside. It's in front of the Florida State bench. Cody was on the coverage. Rod Gardner, who has good size, 6'3", 211 pounds.
Well, you can see with the signals, defensive pass or defensive holding and offensive pass interference.
Well, Rod Gardner tries to get off the ball, and I think there's the push. I don't see the holding, but I did see the push.
So we'll do it all over again. 2nd down. Looking at Gardner. Look how tight Cody is on him at the line of scrimmage. Now you see him back off. Dantzler trying to get away as he takes it to the right, pumps it once, and Derek Gibson says you're not going anywhere. That is a nice defensive play. He'll lose about a half yard, and now it's 3rd down.
Around the first half, when they showed 3 wide receivers against Florida State, this is what Dantzler found out. When there's 3 over there at Florida State, he knew it was man coverage, so he got to play from the sideline. Then all of a sudden, when he come back out with that same formation, he saw only 2 over here. Then he knew it was zone coverage, so that was the pre-snap read they were giving him from the bench.
Well, right now, 3rd down, and Clemson does not want to do another 3 and quick out. Pass right over the middle, got it complete, and what a hit by Sean Key. Gardner's up immediately saying you didn't bother me, but the thing that he bothered was a 1st down.
Yeah, they've taken over this game in the 2nd half. Credit Mickey Andrews, Chuck Amato, Jim Gladden, who's been on that staff for 25 years, of making good adjustments in the 2nd half and turning the football back over to the Florida State offense.
Peter Warwick is the deep man for the Seminoles, standing back at the 37-yard line. Romano waits for the snap, and they have been trying to kick away from Warwick, but this one's going to be returnable right in the middle of the field. actually right to him. Cuts it across the 45 and is up close to midfield. As on the special teams, Kirchu. Adrian Karsten, what do you have for it?
Ron, I have definitely a different football team, especially in the look of the faces I'm seeing over here from the Florida State defense. Earlier in the week, Coach Cotton admitted, I'd give this unit about a B. We're just not hungry enough. 13 pro scouts at practice a week ago. They're the ones who volunteered that. And he said sometimes you see it in the seniors first. Well, Ron, in the eyes of the seniors here in the second half, I've seen these guys agree we're going to hit Densler every single play, no matter what it takes. Don't take the penalty, but make sure that they know they're the #1 team in the nation.
And Ron, just to echo what Adrian said, they have about the 9-minute mark of the third quarter. They just completely taken over this game as far as I'm concerned.
First and 10 with very good field position following that return. And Winky in trouble, and he's going to be down by McKenzie. Third time that they've gotten to him with a sack. And to complete Adrian's story was interesting because Bobby Bowden told us in the conference call earlier this week that one of the scouts told him that. He said, you guys, you don't act hungry like you have in the past. And he said you need to listen to people like that sometimes because you're too close to home and you don't realize exactly maybe you are not going at 100% stroke.
Well, I just said it earlier. It's a team that's so much talent, they just get bored. You know, they get bored with playing unless they're pressed.
Well, they have been pressed tonight and impressed by Clemson as well. Deep over the middle and dropped by Warwick. Peter was looking to see where he could cut to run for a touchdown, and he couldn't hold on to it.
Chris Wanke had that ball right where Peter Warwick should have caught it. 11 receptions tonight. And you can't throw it any better than that. Just seemed like he didn't bring it in, didn't cover it up. Got away from him.
12:21 to play in our ball game, tied at 14. Looks deep over the middle and overthrown. Dexter Polite had the cover on Warwick. And it is punting time and a standing ovation for this defense.
That was a good defensive series there. Peter Warwick again wide open. Chris Wanke can't get him the football.
Now what has to happen is the Tigers offense has to step forward and do their job. Lawyer's the deep man for Florida State, or for Clemson, I should say. And they've got the return on. Good coverage kick, very high. Spiral turns over and a fair catch called for and made at the 17. 44 yards on the kick and a commercial coming with 12:08 left in our ball game. We'll be right back.
Which Sports Center do you watch? Now at 6 p.m. only on ESPN.
We don't build commuter cars or get you to work fast pinstriped cars. We don't build cars, period. We build the 205 horsepower, get out of town fast Isuzu Rodeo. Because there's more to life than the daily commute.
You have responsibilities. Doesn't mean you have to drive around with them. Monsoon Audio Systems in the Volkswagen Jetta. Drive drenched in sound.
They're the largest creatures on Earth. They've adapted and evolved with strength and determination. The kind of strength that helps the Pacific Life family of companies manage more than $300 billion for its clients. And determination that has guided Pacific Life for 130 years. Size, strength, longevity, offering annuities, insurance and investments. Use the power of Pacific Life.
ESPN's presentation of primetime college football is brought to you by Isuzu. We don't make cars because life is too big for cars. And by Monsoon Audio Systems, drive drenched in sound. Well, as you take a look at some of the Clemson faithful here, and we come back to action with a first down, a 12:08 to play in the ball game. We'll talk about some numbers in just a moment, how Florida State has taken control of this one, and Dantzler just threw this one into the turf.
Ron, they've done a better job in the second half of pressing the wide receivers. You see, first half, what Clemson did with 195 yards, and they have not kept the football in the second half, only 24 yards.
They only had run, Mike, 13 plays in the second half for those 24 yards.
So it'll be 16 here in a minute before they punt if they don't get something going.
Here's Zachary, breaks it off, has 5, and is tripped up short of the first down. Chris Hope, sophomore out of Rock Hill, South Carolina, makes the tackle. Bobby Bowden walking back and clapping his hands, trying to get things even more positive over on that Florida State bench as the offense takes off the warm-ups, and they say we're going to do another 3 and out, but the quarterback draw, and they're exactly right. Corey Simon, and Corey has had an outstanding game tonight, will tackle Dantzler.
Maybe one of the better defensive linemen in the country, up for a lot of awards. They're going to measure this close, but I don't think he got it, Ron. Do you?
Mike, I was just checking here. If they don't make this, it will have been 3 and out on every series.
They haven't had a first down second half.
That's right, in the second half, and they didn't pick it up. Tommy Bowden knows that
you got to punt here.
Yeah, this is no time to play around. I mean, you're still sitting.
You're still involved in this game.
Yeah.
You're 14-14. You don't want to give it to them here.
Reggie Durden is the deep man. But again, field position. Florida State, because of what they've done, this is a 7th punt. They're about to flip this field again and make it a short field as far as getting some points. Punt is not going to turn over. Bounces on the sideline, picked up by Durden. 38, and at the 40, it's a good open field tackle. Chad Speck, junior out of Nashville, Tennessee, 36 yards in the punt and nothing on the return.
Well, we talked about this, you and I talked about this last night, but the style of play for Clemson has, you know, when you take over a program, a new program, style of the offense, it's attack offense, attack defense, and I think it's really made them a competitive football team this year.
Clemson player injured, and he's all the way across the field right there in front of the Florida State bench. And it's Crutchfield, Darrell, a junior from Jacksonville, Florida. He's injured on the special teams. Peter Warwick, having himself an outstanding night, actually dropped one that might have not only given him big yardage, could have gone for a touchdown.
Yeah, but it's a good thing they brought him on this trip, because he's been a target most of the evening for Chris Winkie. On the last drive, here's a post or an in route, square, and he dropped the ball, and then he came right back the next play and tried to hit him on a deep post. And the question I would ask Adrian Karsten, who's on the sideline, I know he's young, and I know he's missed about a quarter and a half of, or a week and a half of football, but what kind of condition, stamina is he in?
What do you say, Adrian?
He really looks awfully fresh to me. He came out in the start of the second half looking as good as he did the start of the game. And, you know, honestly, for all of the flack he's taken tonight from that student section on the hill below Howard's Rock, he's been down in that end zone a couple of times, and he even shows a bit more flair of speed. He really looks fresh. Looks like he could play another game tonight, very honestly.
Well, I'm sure that he's so glad to get away from the peripheral things that on the field, it is really kind of a sanctuary, so to speak, or a place where he can truly be on his own. He doesn't have to tune in the things that are said in the barbs and the boos. And he's gotten plenty of those here tonight. If you just joined us, 11 minutes remaining in the ball game. Clemson 14 and Florida State 14. Florida State scored and tied this thing with 10 seconds left in the third quarter, as Darrell Crutchfield being helped off the field, and the offensive alignment that has come in now with a shotgun formation. It appears as though they're going to have Travis Minor and Jeff Chaney, the junior out of Lake Wales, Florida, number 24, in the backfield. Good look at him. Chaney, 24 carries, 79 yards in the year, and he scored a touchdown. His longest run from scrimmage is 23. There's the running play, and it's Chaney as they put the fresh set of legs in the game. Holloman makes the tackle. And I have a feeling that Mark Richt, I know he's going to throw the ball, but would be just as satisfied to continue to do that right there, to eat up the clock and get it in the end zone.
Well, Travis Minor had a nice block on that. You spread people out here, you hit the draw, you got the flares out of the backfield, you got your passing game, you got about everything you want to do.
Plenty of time on the play clock as Winky calls an audible at the line of scrimmage. Here comes the blitz for the outside, and they run right by it. Big opening, and that's the reason why. And Chaney tackled by Carswell finally, and he is down to the 40-yard line.
Ron, you go back again, an unselfish player, Travis Minor, with Chaney in the ball game. He's the player that's got to block the linebacker on the draw. And he's got him 2 times in a row with good blocks.
Here's good news for Florida State fans. Carlos Thomas, who was injured, remember just a time ago, he threw a key block on that last run. Here's the toss to Minor. And Travis is going to take it maybe for a gain of 1 before Carson trips him up.
Ron, all this 3 plays are going to do is open up Peter Warwick. The more they run the football, the more number 9 is going to get open in the secondary, because all of a sudden now linebackers can't be spinning with him and doubling him as the inside receiver. They've got to be more run conscious on the inside.
Second down and 9. You can see Winky go with the play action. And it's just what he was talking about, that he would have him open. And to the crowd's delight, Warwick drops another one. Polite was there, but he should have caught it.
Yeah, without a doubt. Right in his hands again. Chris Winky delivered the football, just couldn't hold on. Same curl route, no help underneath because of the play fake. You can see the linebacker, Chad Carson, couldn't get up underneath the route. Polite's done an excellent job in the secondary all evening.
Bolden comes into the ball game, number 4. He is at the top of your screen. You need to take this down to the 30-yard line. Winky. Incomplete, tipped away, and it was tipped by Ardley, and it was Bolden who they were trying to get the pass to.
Now Ron, the punter for Florida State, Keith Cottrell, it becomes very valuable because he can drop this inside the 10-yard line and turn it over to the defensive team.
Mel Lawyer, the deep person for the Clemson Tigers.
And Clemson's all playing punt safe here because they're not sure they're going to punt it, but they are going to punt this football.
Very, very high. Boy, this is a great coverage kick. Punt is not going to turn over. It takes a big Clemson bounce. Look at that. And will down it at the 25. Jamal Reynolds got to it. We will take a commercial break. 9:06 left in the ball game, tied at 14.
Three motorcycles passed here. 3 men, 2 women, all carrying Visa cards. How do you know that, grandfather? Because Central Law's Motorcycle Adventures doesn't take.
American Express.
Central Oz will take you to a place beyond your imagination, but they won't take American Express. Visa, it's everywhere you want to be.
You can't see anything in a car. You can't see past the guardrails in a car. That's why we don't make tiny little cars.
Look, Mommy, a tugboat. Really? In the water? Yeah.
In fact, we don't make cars, period.
Mommy, birds. Wow.
We prefer the view from the look outside and see the world as Suzu Trooper.
Look, Mommy, space shuttle.
Because you never know what you might miss in a car.
I love golf. It's like life. There are opportunities. And there are obstacles. My clients who own businesses, they understand that.
Dave Tornetto, AXA Advisors.
My job is to help them find a balance between growth and risk.
AXA Advisors, part of a global company helping 40 million people.
We may not get a hole in one, but we'll get the ball on the green. Not in some swamp.
AXA Advisors, building futures.
The hard-hitting Hokies take their hunt for a national championship to Pittsburgh.
Virginia Tech Pittsburgh at 7, next Saturday on ESPN2.
So we're tied at 14, and Clemson, for the first time in the second half, has an opportunity to get their offense going, which they have not been able to do in the second half of play. Dantzler is going to keep it. 30, 35. Who will he take a lick from Key and also Jennings? But I'll tell you, I think he picked up the first down, and if he did, that's the initial first down
second half
of the second half. As we go under 9 minutes to play in the ball game. Dantzler puts air under this one and caught it out of bounds. A lot of bumping over there. Take Cody. But the crowd's going to want a flag, but there's not going to be one.
Ron, you got to credit Clemson, though. They still have fight in them. You get tied up 14-14. They've not had good field position. Their offense has struggled the second half. You said the first down they've had in the second half. Still alive in this football game. Florida State can't put them away.
Dantzler, use him just like a running back, and he's going to be knocked down for a loss. And how many tackles does Corey Simon have tonight? The big senior has really stepped up and done a tremendous job. We've just been told officially 9 tackles for Corey Simon. We talked about he was the guy, one of the senior leaders, that called a meeting out under the tree without the coaches there to talk about keeping their head on straight and watching out for distractions. Well, he has done his part tonight. Throws this one away, and very wisely so. And again, I'll tell you, David Warren on the pass rush tonight as the Seminoles have a player down. And now here comes a late flag, a very late flag.
There's a flag on the play.
But Warren has been outstanding in the pass rush this evening.
Talk about substitutions. Chuck Amato and that whole defensive staff, they keep fresh defensive linemen so he can chase the quarterback in the fourth quarter.
So you know what time
this team's hurt himself. They've hurt themselves with big penalties.
4 personal fouls tonight.
Dead ball. After the play was over, personal foul on the offense, 15 yards.
The way that computes, Ron, is that's one less first down the Florida State offense has to get when you give them that kind of penalty.
Well, plus the fact, look at the field position they're going to give up, Mike, because now this ball is going to be snapped from the 20 rather than the 35-yard line. 4th down and 26 following that penalty. Line drive kick. Over the shoulder catch by Warwick at the 30. Flags everywhere as he goes down at the 30-yard line. It's Brian Mance, who has been very good on special teams.
On the return, we have a 10-yard penalty, a block in the back on the return team.
Florida State has been penalized a bunch tonight also.
Well, look at this as Mickey Andrews is all over Edwards. Mike, that's a 51-yard punt, and then you add the penalty on there. Talk about flipping the field.
Yeah, there's the push right in the back.
Mario Edwards is called for the push. So instead of getting good field position, Florida State has it 80 yards away with 7:45 showing on the clock. They're still tied at 14. Dugan, and he gets out of bounds. The clock will halt with 7:40 to play.
And you just think of what's riding on this game with 7:40 to go in the clock. Now, Tommy Bowden on his side, he said, if I lose, I'm just 3-4. But now he's so much into this ball game. He's always wanted to win this football game. Bobby Bowden on the other side's got a national championship possibility going out the door here.
Very deep drop. Dugans again, as long as that cornerback stays off that far, they're going to continue to throw that route.
Yeah, safety's over the top of Peter Warwick on the other side.
Let's check in on the sideline with Adrian Karsten. Adrian?
Ron, an hour ago, I would have said that the element, the wind that was blowing about 20 miles per hour, would have been in Winky's face at this point. It's kind of fouled up his tight spirals in the first quarter, but the wind is pretty well gone. When you're #1 team in the nation, maybe a couple of breaks go your way.
A higher beam is taken over is what you're suggesting, Adrian. Winky out on the flat. That's to Menace. And he gets what he can. Knocked out of bounds by Bodrick. See, and they're not using very much time off this clock.
No, they're doing it fast. They're chewing up ground right here with 3 quick passes. See if they still go to Dugans on the other side away from Peter Warwick.
That's where they went. He broke the tackle at the 50, and now here goes Dugans. Hit from behind. Fox made the stop, but he's all the way to the 35.
Now, Ron, what they've done is, and again, credit to Bobby Bowden and Mark Rick, now they're going away from the side that Peter Warwick's lined up on because the safety's over the top of Peter Warwick. So you know you got one-on-one over there on Ron Dugans because you got an inside receiver, and Alex Ardley makes the tackle. So they've hit on something right now on the opposite side of Warwick.
Dugans 7 catches, 83 yards. And here's Minor. Carson stops him after a gain of 2, maybe 3.
Well, sometimes when you're calling a game, you explore and you explore and you explore, and then all of a sudden you hit something. I'd keep going back to Dugans over there. They're going to go away from Warwick again. Let's see if he gets what he wants on that side again.
Winky tucks it, 30, 25, and he slid. Keith Adams was there to put the stopper on him, and from where they've marked it, I think he has picked up the first down.
A good hit by Keith Adams. He's been an active linebacker all night, sophomore. Chris Winky would like to get down right here, and the shoulder hit.
It is a first down. Winky's knocked down at the line of scrimmage, and it was Bryant who got his hands up. Or Childress, I beg your pardon.
It's exactly where Chris Winky was trying to go, back to that side again to hit Dugans.
Eason. I beg your pardon here. 98, Nick Eason.
Here's Dugans again on the top. They're just going to keep throwing that all night. But Eason foiled their attempt.
Normally on that pattern, the tackle on the outside does a chop at the line of scrimmage, at least to make him grab for the turf or not be tall, and he was unable to do it. 6:16 to play, still tied. Minor hit at the line of scrimmage, will fight his way forward for maybe a half as Bryant is there to make the stop. Also, you can see Terry Jolly helping out on the tackle as we go under 6 minutes.
And then Janikowski becomes the big factor here. Now the X factor will come in and kick the field goal if they can't get the first down here. I'd go right back to Dugans again.
Janikowski 2 of 4 tonight.
He's been wide left twice.
They need to take it just inside the 15, and they give it to Minor, and he's not going to be close. The thing is, they shove him out of bounds to stop the clock. Eric Meekins is there defensively, and it will be Sebastian Janikowski.
That's the safe call, Ron, the draw. Because you keep the ball on the ground, you feel this guy's an All-American, Sebastian Janikowski, so turn the game over to him. You know, if he makes the field goal, he's going to kick the ball out of the end zone for the kickoff and then turn it over to your defense.
This is going to be a 40-yard attempt. It's been the other hash mark that has plagued him tonight. Let's see if he hooks this one in. Yep, he does, and you can tell, and it should be this way for a left footer, that is the better angle for him. And the #1 team in the nation has taken the lead for the second time tonight, 17-14. We'll be right back.
The 300 secret. At Chrysler, the latest 300 is unveiled.
The 300 philosophy has always been one of styling leadership, presenting the newest 300.
Chrysler 300M, the 253 horsepower descendant of the legendary Letter series. Now, lease the Chrysler 300M for $399 a month.
Dewey Jowers Insurance Agency, in business since 1977. Barbara Hall & Hogg Insurance, in business since 1873. These agencies have come together to form a bigger, better company without losing the quality and tradition. The same friendly faces, the same quality service, all under one roof. With this addition to Dewey Jowers Insurance Agency, there is more companies to serve you. With 125 years experience serving Rome and Floyd County, Dewey Jowers Insurance and Barbara Hall & Hogg, together as one, all under one roof. Dewey Jowers Insurance Agency, 706 East 2nd Avenue in Rome.
It's the PGA Fall Finish on ESPN. The top hitters on the PGA Tour tee it up in Houston, Texas at the Tour Championship. Coverage begins Thursday at 3 on ESPN.
I'm Trey Wingo. Coming up on SportsCenter, we'll have complete coverage of Game 1 of the '99 World Series. Mike Tyson back in the ring, and what is Rick Pitino doing back in Lexington? Join me and Kenny Mayne for SportsCenter, 11 o'clock Eastern.
Back in Clemson, South Carolina, and here's the situation. 5 minutes and 26 seconds left in the ball game, and the #1 team in the nation, as that man tries to achieve his 300th career win, has just gone on top 17-14. They led 3-0, and then Clemson came on to score 14 unanswered points. But with 9 minutes to go in the third quarter, as Mike Gottfried so accurately described, Florida State really swung things and took over the momentum of this football game. And it is up to Clemson to arrest that from him. This is Wofford, and he will take it out over the 20, maybe the 22-yard line is where he wound up. Well, coming up next Saturday on ESPN, game day at 11 Eastern, and at noon from the Big Ten, Heisman candidate Drew Brees and 17th-ranked Purdue takes on number 25 Minnesota. Then in prime time for the ACC, #1 Florida State heads to Charlottesville to meet Virginia. For more, log on to ESPN.com, part of the Go Network, go.com.
Ron, we'll get to see one of the best running backs in the country next week, Thomas Jones.
Thomas Jones for Virginia. As Florida State has a player who's down, and it's Gene June, who has been shaken up, the junior out of Boynton Beach. Well, after that last field goal, what did Ann Bowden feel about that?
Too much time up there. We needed a touchdown.
I don't know if that was directed at Bobby or who.
No, it said Bobby, yeah.
Well, you can see Florida State clearly offside as Zachary takes the run to the as David Warren comes over to make the tackle.
She's seen enough games. No, they're not over till they're over either.
Yeah.
5:12 on the clock. She knows.
No, they've been married 50 years, and she has seen a lot of football games. You're right. Jamal Reynolds is the man who jumped across into the neutral zone.
second offside of the defense. 5-yard penalty, still have first down.
Clemson needs a big play. They need, you know, they've been milking yardage. They haven't been able to get a big pass play. They need that badly. I don't think they can take the ball the distance, 5 and 6 yards.
Dantzler faked the pass. There was nothing there. Actually didn't fake it. He was going to throw it. Nothing there. Tucked it and ran, and he's very close to the first down. You have to be impressed with the work of Dantzler tonight, but you also have to credit, as Mike said, Mickey Andrews and the defensive staff and the adjustments that they have made in this game. If you're wondering about Tony Lazzara and what he has done, his longest as far as a field goal, 43 yards against NC State. They got a distance to go to get it in that range.
I was wondering that too.
Well, right here, Mike, it would be about a 73-yarder.
Yeah, they got to get up a little bit.
That is the third first down of the second half for Clemson. Talk about adjustments defensively. Dantzler gets this one, had him open, and here comes the flag. He came over and tried to take him out of the play. It is Gardner.
It's going to be a hold on Mario Edwards, or is it going to be a personal foul? Hold. And a lot of flags thrown tonight. That hurt up here. Sean Key.
Well, the interesting thing about it is Sean had him in the vulnerable position, that it's Sean who was down after throwing that lick. So the fourth first down of the second half for the Clemson Tigers, and it is a new first down. The new line of scrimmage is the Clemson 42. Clock 4:29 remaining.
Get a little closer to that field goal range, Ron, with that penalty. A lot of interesting ball games today. Ohio State came back and won the football game from Minnesota. They were in danger of not going to a bowl game. Boston College, I thought, played great football today. Tom O'Brien, Frank Spaziani, defensive coordinator, really a good plan. But just let it get away.
This is the coaches poll, and of course Nebraska lost, Michigan lost. How about Illinois? They got to be celebrating up there tonight. Champaign, Urbana.
Texas A&M's going down.
That's
so
right. They
a shake up here.
They've already had 51 points scored on them tonight.
Get 51 points scored against you, don't belong in the top 10.
Maybe the top 20. Quarterback draw, and look at this guy. Brian Allen, the junior out of Lake City, Florida. And Florida State, they have gone to school at halftime on the adjustments to make. And what Woodrow Dantzler was doing in the first half and making them look silly.
I'm not so sure they didn't simplify their plan a little bit second half with all the formations Clemson shown.
Here's the pitch to Zachary. Now he throws it back, and it's a throwback pass to the quarterback, Dantzler. The Florida State stayed at home, and that is Chris Hope. That is a nice job defensively. They're going to have the first down. It's good for 13 yards. But most defenses would have been everybody. Student body to the right side of the field. And they stayed at home to keep this from turning into a touchdown. Gardner throws the pass.
You're right. He doesn't stay at home. That's a touchdown.
Or a long play from scrimmage anyway. Well, that's 2 trick plays for T. Bowden.
I think of a song, Oh My Papa, was sang by Eddie Fisher in the 50s. That's what he's saying to his dad over there on the sidelines.
Timeout on the field, 3:41 remaining. 17-14, Florida State.
We don't build commuter cars or get you to work fast pinstriped cars. We don't build cars, period. We build the 205 horsepower, get out of town fast Isuzu Rodeo. Because there's more to life than the daily commute.
Oh, it's awful cold.
Poor baby. He'll be up all night.
Coughing.
Sneezing. No way, he'll be up with the chicken.
No cold hands in the morning.
Sorry, girls, but he's getting NyQuil.
You need relief.
So I can rest.
And when he wakes up, he'll be ready to go.
Good morning, ladies.
NyQuil, the nighttime sniffling, sneezing, coughing, aching, stuffy head fever, so you can rest and have a good morning, Mason.
Ooh.
I know the truth about tires. And I have proof. Pep Boys has tires from 4 for $99 to the Futura SE's Motor Trend said were impressive. Get the tape. The truth will set me free.
Pep Boys.
Cars like us.
People love us. Is your dandruff sending the wrong signals? Get Selsun Power. Doctors recommend Selsun Blue. So don't send the wrong signals. Get Selsun Power.
We are back 17-14 our score. Florida State on top. But the Clemson Tigers, who have only 61 yards in the second half of play, Mike, this drive right here, they don't need a great deal more. They'll be in field goal range.
It's been a good drive. Good play calling by Rich Rodriguez and Tommy Bowden.
They can stop and go. Lang comes down, and he almost caught it. Gardner almost caught the ball anyway, and Mario Edwards could do nothing but hold. And if he had not, if that ball is caught, he goes for 6.
The yardage just keeps mounting on Florida State's penalties tonight.
Mario Edwards goes to the sideline, and Clevon Thomas, the junior out of Miami, number 8, comes in replacing him at that quarterback spot.
Held him all the way.
Mickey Andrews giving a little lecture on the far sideline. 1st and 10. Gonna run it. Not very much there. As Florida State doing a nice job. They were fooled a few times in the first half on that play, but Jerry Johnson just shuts that one down.
And Ron, what Florida State's trying to do with the bump and run coverage is take away those short routes, and that's why Edwards has been called for holding twice, because he's got beat twice off the ball.
Andrews continues to holler instructions to his defense. Quick pass. Gardner, boy, he got belted and knocked down by Thomas very quickly. He'll be at the 30-yard line, and now this down right here, as we have 2:48 and counting left in the ball game, becomes monster big. 3rd down, and they need to take it to the 25-yard line, because a field goal attempt, if they don't get anything here, even if they pick up a couple, is still going to be in the vicinity of 45 yards.
Florida State looks like they're going to come after Dantzler here.
Dantzler retreats, gets his pass away, has it complete, and Zachary is tackled just short of the 1st down.
Ron, that was a good tackle right there by Chris Hope, number 28, the backup safety. Timeout is
is called by the Clemson Tigers with 2:01 left in our ball game.
Here's the play, pressure, middle linebacker blitzing Brian Allen. Here's the ball thrown to Travis Zachary, but Chris Hope made that tackle a yard short of the first down.
Mike, let me ask you this. I know there's been a lot of hype about this, and it is a great situation, first time in Division I history. But this is more than Bobby bargained for, I think. I think he knew that Tommy had talent. They had done a great job with the coaching staff, but I don't think he expected this here tonight.
No, and I go back to the all week, you know, the Peter Warrick deal. I think that has had to take a lot of focus off the Florida State coaches, players. Is he, isn't he? And I agree with what you say. I think Clemson's attacked this whole ball game philosophy on offense, defense, and the kicking game. They ran a couple trick plays. They've let it all out of the bag to try to win this football game.
Let me ask you a question. All right, if you're Bobby Bowden, and right here, Clemson comes out and lines up for what appears to be a field goal attempt, would you play safe to make sure you don't get a third trick play run on you?
Yeah, I would, because I still think I got the better football team, and if we do head to overtime, I still think I got the better football team in that time frame, and they're going to try to kick the field goal here to tie it up.
So the ball is resting at the 25-yard line. The knee will go down.
And there's not going to be any fake
here. At the 32, it is a 42-yard attempt. The longest that he has ever kicked is 43. That was against NC State. Good pass. Ball is down. Does he have the distance? No, it is short and off to the left with 1:57 showing on the clock.
Ron, good pressure by T. Cody, number 27. He really came in from the right side.
He didn't hit that ball well at all. Tony Lazzara with an opportunity to send us into a tie ball game and the possibility of overtime.
Ron, Clemson only has one timeout left, so with 1:57 on the clock, Florida State's got a chance to burn this one away. Gallant effort by this Clemson football team. Not over yet.
Travis Minor breaks it big out of the 30, close to the first down. He is in the vicinity of the 33-yard line as Chad Carson will make the stop along with Fox. And, you know, interesting that everybody talked about the joke, not joke, but what everybody says was, hey, Tommy, lose but lose close, and then everybody is happy. Well, that may be what happens here tonight, but Tommy's not going to be happy because they had an opportunity.
They had an opportunity to win this game, and it's a credit to Tommy Bowden and his coaching staff because they had their ball club ready for the upset.
Talking to his quarterback, knowing that if they get it back, as Florida State runs it straight ahead and is close to the first down, Keith Adams will make the stop.
They're not going to get it back, Ron.
I doubt that they will. Our Visa players of the game, and both of them come from the defensive side of the ball. Corey Simon for the Florida State Seminoles with 9 tackles tonight and made some key plays. And from Clemson, Robert Carswell, 13 tackles, 10 of those solo, and 1 sack this evening. Congratulations to those 2 young men, both defensive players, being our Visa players of the game tonight. Menace in motion, straight ahead with the carry and the hit at the line of scrimmage. Let me ask you another question as the clock runs down. Is this victory too close? Could Penn State move up? Will Florida State hold on to number 1?
I think they'll hold on to number 1 with this win, but I think Virginia Tech's gaining on them. I think Penn State's gaining on them, and I really believe Kansas State after today will be a lot closer also. They have not been impressive. This has not been an impressive football team to this point in the season.
Well, some heartbreak on the Clemson side of the field because, as Mike said, these youngsters came to the ballpark tonight thinking and knowing that they could win this football game. They could not just play them close, as Lazzara looks on, and of course his regrets because he didn't hit that field goal attempt well, that one that could have tied us at 17. But the Clemson kids really, they had a great game plan. They came in here and they executed well. One of the first things you have to think of is 4 personal foul penalties, 2 of them giving key first downs on third down situations. Played really big roles in this ball game.
Ron, there's Dave Hart with Bobby Bowden. Dave Hart's been through a lot this past week. The athletic director at Florida State, there's a lot of people talk that he may be the Alabama AD, but I think he's not involved in that job any longer. So he was one of the candidates.
So that should be the final play of the ball game. And we see history tonight in 2 different situations. That young man against his father, first time for father-son to face off in Division I. And for Bobby Bowden, win number 300. And it did not come easy. 17-14. The Florida State Seminoles, the #1 team in the land, have pulled off the victory and remain undefeated. Bobby continuing to look for his son Tommy down on the field. You can see the mass of